Hello, universe. Happy day of the week to ya. I'm a little late today, as prophesized by the great plumbing incident. I don't like to call it an incident. Actually, I kind of want to step that back a little bit. The plumbers were here today. They sort of fixed things. I sort of locked them in the house for a little bit, and that wasn't awkward in the slightest. But you know what? The important thing is that we're here now, and we're playing Factorio for a little bit. Oh, yeah, the plumber thing was quite the incident. I thought it would be fine. And it was kind of fine, but I mean, everything was fine. They did the work they said they were going to do. It didn't actually fix any problems. I locked them inside because I reflexively like deadbolt the door whenever I'm in here. And after they came in, I reflexively did it. And then apparently plumbers need to go out and come in, go out, come in. So they just couldn't figure out how to undeadbolt the door. And I was like, they're like, this chick's going to kill us. I felt so bad. I was like, you guys want like drinks or snacks? They're like, we'll let you know. And then they just didn't talk to me for like the entire time. They were unhappy that I locked them in the house. But it was like an honest mistake, right? No, it was fine though. They were nice enough. Although I was super awkward. Everything worked out good enough. Although I think they're gonna have to come back eventually because they didn't actually fix anything after like replacing pipes for a few hours. But I guess that's just like the unfortunate part of renting an older house. You just have problems that manifest and problems that people haven't dealt with for years, so they become your problem. Kind of your problem. Not exactly your problem. Okay, so why did the cube not go over there? There's some signal that's broken, presumably from the more schmeltitude, because we absolutely need more metal. So I'm gonna go ahead and try and nab you before you get off to some other adventure, because you're certainly needed. Did I get the cube? I did. I was so fast I was surprised I had the cube. Okay, so why did this break? Because logically speaking, this should be running, because I can tell that this box is... Oh, it's just not full enough. Okay, never mind. It wouldn't have run. It would have been really close to running. My cubometer was going off, and it was correct to go off, to be frank with you. I forgot we set up these fabricators outputting these sophisticated matter units. That's so nice. Cool, 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 cool. So... what should we work on? I think maybe what we should consider working on, or at least a part of what we should be working on, is trying to just get like the basic stuff a little bit better. We're gonna have a shorter stream today, just because of how late it is already starting, unfortunately. My deepest apologies. Tomorrow should be normal, hopefully. I do have to make some calls in the morning, but I can't imagine it'll take a meaningful amount of time to make a damper on it. This said, we've started doing science on deep introspection cards, and we've got a few things queued up for deep introspection cards. Bulk inserter upgrades are cool. There is another science past me. I forgot I made things. So there's a thing for more schmeltitude here, but it seems like, at least currently, when it comes up here, it doesn't always have stuff to schmelt while here. So I'm going to say no to more schmeltitude right now. Maybe we'll look into it, but I'm going to just cut it off now because we literally just bumped into the fact where it was going to go around and come back, which means it would have taken even longer. Maybe at some point, but if we need more schmeltitude would mean more crushitude. I think more crushitude is probably more important than schmeltitude right now, but it appears like our setup is gunked here. To have the train successfully kill that, we need a different rule. 240 seconds past is way too much. I was gonna say it's fine. Let's make it 60 seconds. Apparently we're just absolutely ripping through calcium. Getting train stopping speed could be an improvement as well, so that they can stay at top speed for longer. Ideally it'll go to this stop here, which we should really have a radar for, or at least a roboport. So let me actually start expanding roboport range out here just so we can see the area, because right now not being able to see it's a little bit annoying. Not the end of the world or anything, but this should help our vision a pretty mighty amount. While we watch the cube go around on its glorious adventure. But ideally, this train, we'll get the hint now. Ooh, why are you not going there? Okay, so it looks like I'm gonna add the interrupt, but apparently my logic for the interrupt broke somehow. So what's going on here? Green cable goes up here. This is reading to make sure there's more than 400 calcium. Should only read from that stop. How peculiar. I wonder why that didn't go up, because this should be reading it. Like, I can see it's connected to the box right now. That's certainly an issue as to why our, whatever the heck it's called, our stuff isn't getting, our calcium is backing up, so we're not producing enough ore because of this situation here. These just aren't doing anything functionally, which would help the ore, which would justify potentially more ultra dense furnaces, but for now I think we're going to stick with 4. I also want to monitor that, see what's going on. Right, speed modules into these, specifically into these two up here, I think would be pretty important. Looks like the electronic circuits fell behind just because there's no metal coming down the line as well, so it's really a whole dichotomy of problems. I'm thinking maybe we make a separate crusher and furnace setup, but grabbing from this over here. I know this one's a lot smaller though. Isn't there a big one around? Let me see. Rare metal 1.0, 1.5. This one is just like perfect in its size. I could rip from this one, but I think this one's going to start running out. You can see this back area here is already getting a little bit low on them. Now I want to see if the interrupt kicks in, because it should logically kick in, and if not, gotta figure out what's going on here, because something's not right. Yeah, just go straight to the other one. I'm very confused. This is reading content successfully. It goes across, it follows the chain. The chain's not disconnected in any way. It goes there, it goes through. This sends the circuit network to the train, so it could be used for weight conditions. But then it doesn't actually go, so I don't really know what happened. This one shouldn't be able to read it at all because it's not connected at all. It might still be able to break the train based on where it is. This definitely has more than 400 in it though, so why are you not going? You were working for a long time. I know a way to fix it, but it's not an eloquent way, so I'd rather avoid it and try to figure out what's wrong. Because, like, if we add a second stop, like, up here, and call for this stop, I mean, I guess the stop would be back here, and call for this stop and just don't put a condition on it. That wouldn't exactly work either. I guess if I put a stop... Wait, there's a stop here. I guess I could just defaultly have it do car smashy stop on occasion. That would really solve the problem if we have enough. It's going to waste a lot of materials, though. I didn't realize car smashy stop was, like, here. Over 500. Oh, is it because it's enable disable got turned off? Is that what it was? I think that's maybe what it was. I don't remember why I turned that off at one point. But now the stop is enable disabled. Maybe that's what's required for this condition to work. I hope so, at least. I have no idea if it'll actually work or not. I wonder if there's a better way than making an interrupt. No, an interrupt's the only way I could think of, right? Because it won't... It'll just go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, or whatever the order is. I have no idea what's causing it, though. That's so bizarre. Calcium... Wait... When did it... How long has it been on that condition? Is that not less than 400? Is that my issue? Calcium greater than 400, so it was only doing it when it didn't have to? Crazy that that's what the issue was. I'm so bad with greater than and less than. This should fix it. And like magic, there it goes. I can't believe that happened. I wonder what caused it. Surely it hasn't always been like that because it's broke trains from time to time. Perfect. So now the calcium will be dealt with in an appropriate way. What a weird thing to troubleshoot. I wonder how long it's been broken for. Why are you making science out of curiosity? It looks like you are out of concrete. Why are you out of concrete? Because you're out of water. How are you out of water? I'm actually quite surprised about that. I was pretty sure I had you plugged in a way that you weren't possible there and out of water, but clearly you have. Okay, so there's a pump bringing the excess water out of that into here and then up here, but then I guess this was a cycle because sand dilution gives water out, right? So I guess this was a perfect cycle and now it's not anymore. I guess not perfect, but it was building up extra, which we could have dumped. And this was pumping out extra water, so I think that's still fine. I think what I'm gonna do is have two separate pumps to regulate it. That'll mean that there's not gonna be like a crazy difference in them. There's probably a smarter way to do it though. So I'm gonna set the same enable disable conditions, but I'm gonna just have it do the opposite and I'll have it over 3,000. I think. Maybe I should have it the 1,000. I think I have it backwards in my head. Gosh, I'm coughing so much and I don't know why. Surely we don't have a pump lying around. No, that's okay. This way, like, I think I set this up for things before, where now, when we have it set up, it'll make sure that there's always, like, a specific amount of... Oh, I had pumps on me. There's a specific amount of water in there always. And if it becomes that there's excess, it'll pump out extra, but it'll make sure that this can keep running, the sand distillation amongst other things. Although I also wanted to change the sand distillation. Okay, I must have already set it up. It's only running when there's a huge excess in that box. Cool. Cool, everything is looking good then. So this should be destroyed naturally now. Even destroys before it can be filled, which is interesting. I mean, I can change the conditions too, but honestly, as long as the box is emptying, that's really all I care about. The cars are inexpensive enough. Surprised they haven't placed the pump yet. Did I not trash the pump? I totally did. They're just taking their time, I think. There it is. Oops, probably need some power for that too, huh? Surprised my bots are so slow since we don't really have a ton of them running at any given time, right? I guess it's just they're stored kind of far away. Yeah, most of them are stored in the center of the factory. How is our number going for those? 5,000 logistics, 3,000 construction. That is truly nice. Means expansion should be pretty easy for us, which is something I want to think about soon. Speed modules. I guess we'll look into speed modules. That feels like a natural progression point for us. Unfortunately, our current build, I think no matter how we slice it, we're going to need to start processing more metal. I think it's just like a non-negotiable situation for us right now. Much like how we expanded our production here of the basic matter replication units, whatever they're called. Basic matter units. I think much like we did this, I think we want something very similar here. I don't know if I'm going to go up to 16, but I might, just because I really like this design, to be honest with you. Replicating it right up here would look decent enough, and I believe they're the exact same shape, and the logic doesn't need to be that different. Now, something we will need to take into account is that rather than piping, we will need to bring in ore to do it. And if we're going to focus our factory on this crushing process, we're going to want an appropriate amount of ore for it as well. Each one of these puts out without any modules. Can they take speed? They can take speed and productivity and efficiency. Interesting. Productivity could be useful there potentially. It's output 4.37 of the enriched rare earth metals per second. These can technically eat 250 a second. I'm not going to do that. I think there's more value in getting a bunch of them set up, buffering a bunch of them, so when the cube comes, it goes, ba, 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 and then we have a bunch of it, very similar to this design up here. So I think we're going to copy this conceptually, even with this here, have the 8 lines come out, and if those 8 lines coalesce back into the 4 down here, perfect, doesn't really matter. What's going on over here? What is this being made for? It appears we're making advanced engine units. Did I over-design it? They need 0.5 per second each. There's 4 of them. Ah, I see. So it is a little over-designed because it gets engine units from something else as well. I'm going to deconstruct these remaining 2 of them. Clearly they're a little over-engineered right now. And I think these are just like bonus engine units we're having at this point. Because I want this space. I want to do basically like exactly this design. So I think to start, we will call for a deconstruction plan over here for the rocks and stuff. Now, I identify that there's some unfortunate placements of power poles, so I want to start getting those moved as well, because I think they're going to be a little bit in the way for us. But ideally, we'd like to keep the locale of the power poles in roboports. That would be quite the boon if they didn't get moved around too much, because I think they might stop connecting if we move them too much. Cool. So hopefully that'll be fine. Clear out that area, start placing the roboports in different spots. And again, I think I'm going to copy this almost 1-to-1. The question remains, do I want to do 16 of them or not? And I feel like the answer is yes. Now, the downside of 16 is currently we're kind of struggling to process 4 of them, or enough ore for 4 of them. Like, look, we processed semi recently. We haven't filled these back up yet. And these boxes, they do have a good chunk in them, but we eat through rare metal very quickly. So I think it's very important for us to look more and more into producing more of it. So that's going to be more crushers and more ore. In addition, I think we're going to want another few trains set up of rare metal. And I think that that's going to kind of stem from us taking the cube and going to drive around a little bit and see where we can go get some. I'm going to copy the blueprint for now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy it down to basically here. And we're going to just manually edit the blueprint because it's going to have a lot of stuff that we really don't want in it. The pipes on the side are very extra. The cube line is fine, but there might be rules for we don't want the cube line going there. Another thing we need to take into account is that literally every single one of these, oh, that's actually going to change the design a lot. Maybe we'll remake it from scratch, or at least remake it a little bit. But literally every single one of these, do not undo that, sorry. There we go. Is going to require some sort of system to move the cube betwixt them. Which exists now, sorry. Recharge the cube betwixt them more than just move it. Because moving it is one thing, certainly something that's necessary. But recharging the cube is a whole different beast. One that we're not quite ready for in this current design, so we'll probably have to scrap a good chunk of it. Honestly, what I just really want is the belts, because I think they look quite nice. This part here in particular, where it outputs. But with this design, we're going to need to, if we want to stick with it, of course, which I think we will try to, we're going to need to figure out a couple things that we clearly need fixed, so hopefully we can figure that out sooner than later. Okay, that looks better. It's probably pipes I missed. I see some pipes I missed. There's almost certainly some pipes I missed, basically every time. But that's better. And again, this isn't going to be the exact machine we need, but the theory is there structurally. And I'm hoping to just kind of plant this down in a place where there's no bots for a little bit and then mess around with it and see what we can make it look like. So we're going to do that now. Looks like our bot range does not go out to here, nor does it go up to here. So we will do it up, I'll say here-ish, maybe a little bit further out. Wish there's a place we had radar instead. I don't want to make it too close to the bots, start messing with it. What I should really do is go meander up there. So I think I'm going to start building the blueprint for it to start. Once we get the blueprint looking like somewhat okay, I suppose, from that point, I'll probably go grab the car, grab the cube, and then go drive around, because we're going to need a lot more ore. I think that some of the more important things and things I've kind of been neglecting is having... I know it's always been the plan. It's basically what I've said several times now. I want the cube to spend as least time in a place as possible. And to circumvent the entire need to go down a long path, I think is one of the biggest boons. that we can possibly have for the cube. So I'm gonna start over here. I'm moving it a little bit just so we have a little bit more freedom to mess with the design currently. I think I'll turn my bots back on and then deconstruct this area here. So I have a little bit more open space. Otherwise it'd be like X's over it, which kind of bother me, which is not that big of a deal, but there we go. So boom, here's our new design. Cube goes in, and then cube needs to be repaired between each step because the cube is the fuel for the furnaces, unfortunately. Whoops, I need to turn my bots off, please. Thank you so much for your hard work, but I do not need that currently. So I'm gonna go into map mode so I don't need to place anything, and then we'll have a little bit more freedom. But now that we can see this area, it's gonna be a lot easier to us to take advantage of things and see what's going on for what we're gonna need to accomplish by the end, hopefully. So instead of this, we're going to want a furnace on the recipe for refined. I think we're gonna do refined. Again, it's just a better ratio. Now, refining it is worse in a few ways. Unfortunately, when it comes to refining it, we have outputs. Honestly, the stone is not hard to deal with. The calcium has become easier to deal with now that this is working again. Yeah, look at that. So that should be fine, but the downside of this is currently we produce, looks like about 450, a little under, we'll say 444 calcium per minute. This is going to turn into 1600 calcium per minute. And if we're not using 1600 calcium per minute, well, we're suffering a little bit, right? Because we're going to have to just keep destroying them, which is not inherently the end of the world. And I think calcium might be used in a few other texts that we got recently, but I don't quite remember. I really wish the Factorio worked. That's my one complaint. I've been tempted to like try to figure out how it got turned off and turn it back on, but I assume the mod just doesn't want you to spoil yourself and all the cool stuff ahead or plan ahead. So I'm trying to play it organically in such a way where I don't spoil myself, but at the same time, I just like to be able to read about what I have already. It could be that calcium's also kind of seen its end now, which point we can consider to... I mean, we need some calcium. That's the issue. We need some, but where do you draw the line? I could have it so that there is a bay of half of them doing normal smelting and the other half doing refined smelting. Not a terrible idea. That would only double our calcium input. However, it becomes more wasteful for using calcium. And at that point, too, we can investigate blast smelting, which is 6,000 of them turn into 2,000 for 16 explosives. But again, it's just done like that and it's 2,000. So it's dramatically more, or not dramatically, it's what, 50% more wasteful than the default recipe. The default recipe to my memory is 500 to 250 or something like that. It's really not good. Oops. Let me go put that furnace back. I'm in the wrong spot, that's all. This is the actual spot. There we go. So, normal recipe is 500 to 250, so we make very, very little here. Improved recipe is 1-to-1, so we get our ratio good instead of 1-to-2. And then we keep everything. Basically, it's all good. Keeping in mind, though, that it's not technically all good because we are turning every single 10 of our ores into about half as much of this. So it kind of balances itself out, actually, thinking about it now. Currently, these can kind of produce enough for 4, so I'd want to scale this up to, I guess 12. Maybe 12 is kind of a dumb number, though. Maybe 16 to keep things squared. I'm just worried about over-designing calcium, really. Oh, we finished technology. It looks like bulk inserter capacity bonus. Goodness, that was a tough one for me. It just saves a little bit of time for the cube going around. I guess for loading and unloading stuff, too. It's just a nice upgrade for us, because bulk inserters have been really, really nice. I think what I'm going to do is what I was saying before, where maybe I'll set it up a little bit different. So this one's so uniform and so pretty and so nice because it doesn't really take anything besides passing it around, then they can all output. It looks quite nice. I think I can do something similar, but not identical, if that makes sense. So what I'm thinking is this left bay is going to be doing the normal ones, and then the right bay will be doing the refined ones. Now, it's going to get a little bit tricky because I'm going to need a lot of circuit conditions to satisfy this, and I'm also going to want to think about when I want the cube to come down here. I think the rule is going to be if the cube can run either come down here, and then maybe in front of it I'll have a splitter or two that kind of determines what path it'll take, you know? So we can have a path that deliberately goes only left, we can have a path that deliberately goes only right. Or we can have a path that goes both technically, but it's getting a little bit like extra now. I do like this structural design, but again, we're going to have to think about the big glaring issue that I still haven't quite faced yet. I really missed a lot more pipes than I thought. Which is, where the heck are we going to actually repair these? So I'm going to set these preemptively. This might not stay. I might keep it so that it's like 12 of those versus 4 of the other ones, but for now we're going to just... Oop, I actually just set up the recipe wrong, I think. I did, in fact. So these are just going to be the wasteful ones. Alternatively, I might turn these into the explosive ones. Because when I look at it pragmatically, right? If this comes through, we gotta do the explosive ones. If this comes through and we do normal ones, it's 250 rare earth metal for the cube's time. That means this side will produce 2,000, which is really, 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 really bad. Like, this one on its own produces 1,000. So this entire side would produce the same amount as 2 of these, which means the cube's time is wasted. Now, the alternative idea is running the refined smelting. Let me actually queue that up because I think that's probably going to be on the agenda for the plan. The alternative to this is instead running a big thing of rare earth smelting, which I don't love anymore just because calcium is becoming so abundant. If we didn't have such like a crazy amount of calcium, I would consider it. We would need to crush a lot more too, which would make us go through our stone. But like on the same side, like if we switch over to the explosive smelting recipe, we are wasting, instead of half of our metal, so to speak, we're wasting 2/3 of it. Or I guess it's not metal, it's ore at the time. But it does produce so much that the cube really shouldn't need to come back here for a long time. Keeping in mind that this setup now, one loop of it, which I can have it loop twice technically, it loops twice sometimes, but it takes a little time to do it, just because of space constraints, will produce 8,000. And now, with the new setup, one of these produces, 4,000 with the new recipe, I think? 2,000. So this entire side on its own would be double what that is now. Because each one is 1,000 with the new recipe. I keep looking at this one thinking it's the old recipe. So it's 8,000 here. This one... Wait, no, this would be way more than 8,000. Why am I saying it's only 1,000? 2,000 for each one. Okay, that's what's throwing me off. So this side would be 8,000, this side would be 16,000, and our current setup is 4,000 per loop, which is kind of a pain to deal with right now. So I'm thinking that's probably our better idea, and just keep those loaded up, and that way we can store a bunch of them on the way with a similar design right here. And then once that gets low, then the cube will take the journey over to it. It's going to be a little bit further away to load the cube as well, but I think it's probably worth it in the long run. I'd like to eventually move the mall because it's starting to kind of be in the way as well, which is a pain. But that's okay. Hey Fabian, good to see you. The most important resource is cube time. Even if the recipe requires more materials, it's still better to make use of the cube. It's absolutely true. It's absolutely true. So I think that this idea is going to be where we're rocking. What would be really cool if we could is to design something. I think this like highway here is fine, but I think we're gonna have to change a lot of things. It would be very, very nice to design it around reusing this. It would be so cool design-wise, at least in my head, which might not be as good in practice, if we could do something where like it'll be able to cycle through here and then go to the next machine and then go to this one, you know? It doesn't work in theory, at least not right now, because, you know, it goes here and then it doesn't repair anywhere. If I bring it further down, we can start bringing more of them. Whoops, I do want you over there, actually. I guess this could just be like the new thing. I kind of like how it looks, like if nothing else. But it's a little bit strange right now. This is a nice like quadrant, but doesn't exactly get it to the next part. But I don't hate this for bringing it through. Now the smelting area itself is going to be a lot bigger just because of the space constraints, unfortunately. But I don't hate this conceptually, but I feel like I can make it smaller too somehow. Alright, so you go here. We're also gonna have to make explosives, but to my memory, explosives, like, we really don't need that many. Being that it takes 16 per production, I think we're making explosives already, right? Each one of these produces 0.25 per second, like, even with that, every 4 seconds we get one. That means like every minute or so. it'll make it so that one of these can run so every 8 minutes. Like, that's one machine, and I'm totally gonna make more than one. So the explosives are like really just like a non-factor. They're an absolute nothing burger. I think the issue is just going to be getting more ore and stuff and bringing the ore in an appropriate way. Thankfully, I have a train line here, so offloading ore here won't really be a major issue. If I want to do it above, we can load ore above. We can still keep this down here, but I think I would like to move the general like ore processing up to here if we can, since it doesn't seem like we really need it to be here. The ore itself is crushed and then the stuff comes down, so granted, getting the calcium here would be a little bit easier. I could alternatively have two separate stops, one of them down here, dropping off, unloading for this, and the other one loading the top. So maybe I'll do that. I mean, I want a second train anyway, so maybe I'll just have this one dedicated for the crusher and then have a second one that drops above here, and then we'll have one side, the less efficient side, or I guess the more efficient side, the refined side, feeding from below, where we kind of have it here now. That'll feed upwards, and then we'll have the other one feed the top side. So rather than a left and right side, we'll do a top and bottom. How about that? That looks a lot better in my head, at least. So let's start designing it to look, I guess, to function primarily. So we're going to want 8 on the top and 8 on the bottom. We can have it do a circle, or we can have it kind of snake like we had before. Whoops. Don't want to move it like that. I just want to move these down a little bit because I want to get an idea of how much space we're going to need. This might be kind of overkill as well, but again, I'm really operating under the mindset of better to overdo it than underdo it in these cases, because even if the machines aren't like, even if we run it once and we don't have to run it for like 20 minutes, like I say, even if like that's a bad thing, it's actually a really, really good thing. So that would be ideal, is what I'm trying to say. So hopefully we can manage something like that. It would be quite the win for us if we could. So I'm gonna just get some roboport coverage out there. I can hopefully start clearing that out. I'm gonna call for some more tree destruction as well, because it's going to be a little bit wider and taller than I was planning on initially. And we're also going to need a little bit of logic for if we want to load multiple sides effectively, which I think is going to be one of the challenges we're facing here. To know, I guess it's not that bad, is I can have it load through, like let's say the cube enters through here, right? We'll just use this for a cube entry. It goes through here. We can have it go through here, just like it did on the other side. I guess I'll just copy this and then paste it. And we can rotate this. We can have it go boom, boom, boom. Placement's not final, obviously. And then we can have it come to a repair pack here, we'll say. And then this could be two different outputs, one of which will go and lead into the other part of the stack, and the other one could just lean out. You know, it's not too bad to set up, I think. Really what I'm getting at here is everything will be fine, probably. Or it won't be, which will be funny on its own. So it's really a win-win for us. So I'm going to start moving stuff over just so I can get an idea of space. Because again, I wanted this to be like a top and bottom loader. And this, honestly, it's similar width to this, but we haven't actually set up like the offloading or anything yet. So I'm going to just move it over here. I'm just trying to get an idea of how much space we're actually going to end up using. Because I would like to use this belt loading in the middle, just because I really like how it ended up looking with the storage and everything. But again, for now, I probably don't want to move this just yet. I want to see where it'll load in. Another issue is like, what did we finish researching? Explosive smelting. My microphone was kind of in the way and I couldn't totally see. We could stick it sort of down here, but again, the issue becomes, I guess it's just undergrounds. It's really not that bad. Yeah, no, a few undergrounds go crazy here. They're going to place these, and I'm almost certainly going to move it, unfortunately. But I'm going to just let them place them for now. Let the bots have fun. No, don't undo that. How do you redo? All right, it's fine. No, you don't have to. All right, that was actually my bad. I'm sorry for hitting undo. I was overzealous. I knew not what I was doing. 1,000 deep introspection cards. Just in time. I'm gonna move it like this. So it's got like a flat space through it. This looks good. So now, why do those load so low? How peculiar. You know what? That actually makes sense. Now, this is going to be a little bit off thinking about it. I think what I'm going to do is, because this design is supporting obviously that lower lane filling in there and the upper lane filling up here. This is a lot thicker. We're probably going to lower this part a little bit once we design the other part. But we will design the other part, which is going to look a lot like this one, but just with a different recipe. And ideally to be synced up with this. Oh, it actually kind of like fits though. Wait, you think we could double up on that? That actually goes crazy. Hold on. Am I some kind of genius? There's no chance I'm some kind of genius. I would have known if I was some kind of genius. Jokes aside, I think that this is kind of cooking something. Aesthetically, at least. I don't know if it's cooking something like practically or pragmatically or whatever you'd want to say about it, but I think it's cooking something for someone somewhere. Or it's not. And you know what? If it's not, then so it goes. Sometimes you're the chef and sometimes you're the cuisine. Why doth you not line up? No, that's fine. This kind of moves things a little bit, but it's okay. I like this in theory. So the reason being is we can move this here. You're doing it right. Oh, I didn't get that for a very, very long time. I'm glad we got it now. In my actual save, I mean my proper Factorio. God, I think at like the end of my space age run, which was truly shocking to me. You know, there is a downside to this looking at it. While I like this design in theory, there's really no rhyme or reason why it'll go to the top path or bottom path. Perhaps I can set up some logic for it, but I feel like it'd be difficult to pull off. Maybe that was a blunder. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's easy enough to fix just by doing this and then this, right? This helps it, like, you get to skip a whole step of making logic, so I feel like there's some good reason to do this. Granted, maybe this is the easy way out. We kind of lose, like, aura points for how it was set up before, but that's fine. We don't necessarily need aura, per se. So how is my loading done here? I'd like to copy that part. Obviously, we're going to changing a little bit of the filters and whatnot. But other than that, this is kind of in the way too. You know what? I'll manually make it myself because there's really no reason to underground here, is there? There's totally a reason to underground here. That's fine. We can make it how we were kind of doing before. Whoops, let's flip that over. So you want 2 here, then 2 there, both feeding in the same spot. Oh my god, this is so far apart. I didn't realize that they could just like feed to their own things. With this much space versus just one belt, actually this is much, much simpler to load on. Although I don't think we have rules for what direction they load, so it's gonna have to be a little bit awkward, I guess. Because currently... No, it's not awkward at all. It's just like a single splitter, right? And then they go into the same... They're just good. No, this is simple. This is simple. I don't know why I would destroy that stuff. And then a simple splitter again. They might be overloading this belt, to be honest, but it's fine for now. Subject to change if it's truly fine or not. It might not be fine. Things might actually be awful. But surely they're fine. If they're not fine, legally the Factorio devs have to tell me that they're not fine. Now that worries me. Why is that a different length? So this matches up here. Ah, okay, it's not a different length. That is just slightly out of place of where it should be. Which is fine. Boom. So we have logic for, I mean logic's a strong word, but we have a system in which things will go around here as they should. They now have an offloading. Obviously we need to filter these as well because we don't want the cube to be coming out of here. So we'll set up for rare earth metals and we'll make that look good. Some of that, and then some of that as well. And hopefully that'll be fine. That might overload, but I think we have better belts coming soon, right? We do. We can do the research for purple belts now, which seems to be 60 items per second, which is quite nice, as well as ultra-fast loaders. So that's something. Oh, I could also... I wonder if we should just switch over to offloading this with loaders. I hadn't even considered that. We can't quite do it yet because, I mean, we can probably do it now. It'd just be a pain. I wanted to wait to do loaders because at least the tier 1 loaders, and I don't know how the rest of them go. Let me actually check them really quick. Yeah, they take ghost wire. This one takes spectralite, and this one probably takes something else related to arcane drive unit, which seems to be the motor of spectral stuff, as well as some spectral processors and resplendent plates. So, like, it takes all the stuff from this tier of science to make those fancy schmancy loaders and whatnot. So, like, it's fine. We'll wait on it for a little bit. What's going on here? Why is this so weird? Is that what it really normally looks like? No, it doesn't. I see, but our setup's going to be a little scrungly here. I'd be compressing them into 4 belts a lot sooner than I'd like to. Size-wise, I could move stuff around a little bit. But now that this offload goes into 4, this offload's also going to go into 4. Which I don't love, actually. Maybe it's something we need to square one. Because our other design has it so that they offload because there's just so much space between the setups. Unfortunately, in these ones, we do need to kind of have that handoff. This being said, we can have the handoff be a lot bigger. It's not like we're super constrained on space. A few long-handed... Oh, we can make our first extra long-handed inserters. Extremely long-handed filter inserter. Oh, what does one look like? Oh my god. Holy guacamole, that is extremely long-handed. I didn't even know it was possible to have a hand that long, to be honest with you. Holy moly, that's crazy. I love this thing. Now, let me think about this a little bit more. So we could use an extremely long-handed inserter to move it into a thing in the middle here. I think that's probably our best bet. Unfortunately, like, it becomes really muddy design-wise now. I'm gonna set up our offloading. Ideally, we'd offload here. Can this underground fit underneath here? I guess that kind of fixes everything if it can. It totally can. So everything I said before was, like, completely irrelevant. I do want to make the extremely long offhanded inserters, though. They make me very happy to look at, which is kind of a big deal, because when you're in the factory, like, all you're looking at is, like, smoggy, messed up stuff all day. So it's really nice to have something that, you know, brings you happiness. You know, like, Simpsons circa... I was just gonna say circa 95. I actually really don't know what year it'd be, but the poster, like the Do It For Her poster, that's kind of like what I'm reaching for right now. I'll be honest with you, I don't think I've seen The Simpsons since like the late 90s. I believe they're still running though, which is truly like commendable, I guess, for shows of that caliber, because like they survive the times, you know? And that there's something to be said for that. That's actually quite impressive. Like, all jokes and like slander aside, even if it's not your cup of tea, which is valid, like, don't think that I'm saying you have to like something just because it survived the test of time, but it is quite impressive, whether or not you like it or not. Again, I haven't partaken in quite many moons myself, but it is quite impressive. All right, cool. So that's looking good. I do need to do some other filters. Specifically, these ones need to be filtered, which I'm going to just do now because there's a lot of little work to be done on this build, but I'm really liking how it's looking so far. It's very much the spirit of our previous build, just kind of put into another form, which is cool. We like that. Good vibes. I think I'm going to just manually tap these on. I probably should have done this in the first place. We'll have it so that the Ultra Cube itself goes through here. Anywhere there's an arrow going into a machine, it will be an Ultra Cube one, at least for now. I can't think of any exceptions to that rule, but now that I've said it, I'm kind of hesitant to commit to that being like the rule trademark. It looks good. Boom, 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 boom. Comes down here, perfect. Comes down here, perfect. Sweet. So now I currently have these so that they won't cycle on their own. This is a separate system to this one, other than the fact that the cube is necessary for it. Something else I want to kind of explore, but I don't know if we're quite ready to explore it yet, is the logic or the concept, excuse me, of using a Where are these normally going? They're going the inside of the machine. Perfect. Using a smaller cube, because we can break the cubes into like subcubes, right? So my logic becomes, can we use those subcubes to somehow accomplish what we want? Because if we can have the subcubes go around for like a big smelting trip every now and then, we could smelt way more and send them all over the base and then bring them back. But that's like a real tall order. 64 cubes especially. Even if we took the time to send hypothetically 16 of them to satisfy the demand up here, I still think it would be a little bit spicy. Oh, it looks like we finished the recipe we wanted before. So I'm going to make these the rare earth explosion ones up here, and then we're going to switch these over to our refined ones down here. So we're not going to do any of the default recipes, period. We're going to have some of the explosive ones up here, which again, perhaps design-wise, this is a bad idea because I'm putting our heaviest load at the back, which means that this might get overwhelmed and not be able to go off as much, which is potentially a problem. I don't really have a great solution for it yet. Something I could, in theory, do is move this loading bay down a little bit, or have it so that, like... Oh, you know what? I think you can actually put logic on these. So currently, without splitters and stuff, these two are being filled entirely by these machines, and these two are being filled by these machines, these 8. So I could put some logic where these loaders stop offloading altogether if these boxes are full, and then some splitters can potentially balance it out, use up these boxes so that the refined ore gets continuously used. The issue is I don't think we're gonna bump into an issue where we have too much refined ore, so to speak. It's unlikely to happen. Give me just 1 second, please. I'm getting a phone call that seems kind of important. It wasn't important, literally. I mean, it was kind of important. It was verifying an appointment I have coming up. But that's not kind of what I expected when I saw that the hospital was calling. Especially when it's 2 weeks ahead. I mean, it's fine. This being said, surprise, I might not be streaming Monday 2 weeks from now. I probably will. The appointment's pretty early, and it's like, fine. It should just be like a fairly routine thing, so no stress or anything. Things will be just fine. So what I was saying before was that we can use some logic here for these to only go off.
Fix certain. Thanks for following.
Fixer, and I appreciate the follow. Thank you so much for that. Hopefully you're doing just great today. Although it looks like I kind of have the wiring a little bit weird here because it's already reading all of them. So maybe some red wires instead would be a better idea. Maybe not. Maybe I messed it up again. I don't love my wiring. Small cubes can be used in a few recipes. Allows for 64 machines to operate simultaneously. They cannot be used as fuel. I thought that they had a fuel value to them. Do they not? I know that they're used for some things, but I could have sworn they had a fuel value. Perhaps that fuel value is referring to something else, though. Oh, it's phantom energy storage. Okay, maybe phantom energy is something different. I'll respect that. That's okay. It was a good dream, you know. We'll dream about a world where we could use our phantom cubes for energy. That does simplify it. I mean, I was already kind of scared to think about it. So this way we can set up the wiring here, which I haven't done yet, but this wiring can be looking specifically to see if these are filled. Alternatively, I kind of want to get bigger storage as well, but I think they only go up to 4 or 3 by 3, which is, I guess that's not fine. It's not fine at all. I was gonna say I guess it's fine, but it's really not. We're outputting 8 belts of stuff, so 2 3x3s. We could technically use them, but we may as well just daisy chain a few of these, I think, for the sake of function over anything else. And a little bit of form. They could use it in a steam boiler? Alright, I'm not putting them in a steam boiler. I mean, maybe there's value to put them in a steam boiler. Maybe I, like, decided that too quickly. Once I said that, I was like, what if a steam boiler is the solution to all of my problems? It's not, but what if it was? But it could be. Okay, so our current loading is down here. Our new design is looking pretty snazzy. Something we need to take into account, though, is to actually load the ore itself. And I think what we're going to do, again, I'm going to have it so the ore comes in from up here for this specific, like, top loading part. Maybe we'll use loaders to load it, but I'm thinking for now we don't have access to them, so we'll just focus on getting this part up here done. And hopefully we can have 4 unique belts, one leading down here. I guess we only need... Oh, how the heck do we feed that? No, that's actually fine. I thought I was like completely cooked. This is fine. Ideally, we'll be able to underground from there to there. No, it doesn't reach by like a tiny bit. That's okay. I don't think I want to have it load from the side here. I mean, maybe I could. No, we can have a whole extra belt. Maybe. All right, hold on. No, never mind. Never mind. I do want to load from the side. I was thinking we'd load on top for some of these, but I think it's a little bit smarter for us to load from the side, just so we can keep it a lot simpler. 2 or a belt dedicated to 2. That's a lot simpler than I was going to do 1 on top and then 2 here and then 2 here, but it's going to be a lot simpler to do. This is just what I wanted, but I'm being dumb about it. Oh, but what if we load them all from the center for the sake of space and it looks really nice, hypothetically, as a prank, but then it's not actually a prank and we do it anyways. Oh, that would be so cool. Thankfully, it's a prank, so we're not going to do it, but if it wasn't a prank, future me is going to be popping off because how nice it's going to be. I do like that, though. We can do the loading like this vertically. I was going to say vertically and horizontally, but just vertically, but we'll have it so that it loads upwards like this, and then we already have the downward one done as well. That way we can have a second train stop set up, probably somewhere around here. Oh, I love how that looks on the map, too. How nice. We'll load downward like this. Now, again... with these belts and how quickly these consume them, and these need, what is it, 6,000 for one recipe? 1, we need another mine. We've gone through 0.2 million of these since I've started yapping. 2, it's going to be a little bit slow, but the better belts will fix it. And again, the idea is to load all of them and then have the cube come around. I could alternatively try to start double loading. Every machine of these 8, except for these 2, could be double loaded very easily. This could be double loaded, but it's a bit more of a pain to do it. But it's not impossible. That will make it load faster, but I'm hoping with better belts and maybe loaders, it won't be as big of a difference. Although loaders is not going to work if we're sharing belts, unfortunately. If I give them dedicated belts, then loaders will work fine, but I guess loaders would still technically work if we're sharing belts, but I don't think it'd be a good idea. I think inserters would go better. So for now, we're going to set up a few more, inserters. I guess 4 of each is fine. That might kind of be like overkill anyways. I would not be making this in bot range traditionally, because that's generally what I try to avoid doing when doing this kind of thing, but we have like thousands of bots and they haven't really been doing much, so I want them to make sure that they know that they're appreciated and that I notice their hard work. I'm a very good bot mom, and I intend to keep being a good bot mom as long as I'm in the factory. Cool, so that looks good. So ore coming down here in 4 lanes, ore going up here on 4 lanes, and then we'll have the metal itself outputting to here. Other than that, I think the design is good in theory. Things we're currently missing is power, and I think I know a way I'd love to do it. This might look really nice, but it also might look kind of bad. It's so perfect. I love substations so much. They're so cool. Look at the coverage range. It's like it was meant to be. Goodness, I have it in the wrong spot. It looks so nice. I really like it. Oh, that's so perfect. Couldn't have asked for a better one. I may need to put some in kind of awkward places in the middle, though. Hopefully not. But they do connect. At least the vertical ones do. So as long as they have somewhere in the middle to connect, which I'm going to need substation here, so I'll set up 2 for the sake of symmetry. That should be pretty good. Cool. So I'm going to dismantle this because this is no longer necessary for our design. We've kind of already landed on one that we like. Get rid of that request over there. I thought we had substations made. It appears we don't. They're pretty easy to automate, so I'd like to set up automation for substations because, oh my god, I really love how they look in this. That, like, perfect little spot for them. Honestly, it's just the little things that I appreciate so much. Let us go over to automate some substations. I'm gonna just put it as part of the mall. I think basically everything is nearby here. I see red circuits come up here. What was the other major thing that was weird? It was something that we didn't normally have. Ah, right, the sophisticated matter units, which thankfully are crafted right over here. So I'm actually going to build it even further down because these go basically downstream. Honestly, I might just build them to sneak it over here because we have like the roboports over here as well. The matter units come down here with, like, look at that. That's our matter units and red circuits like right there. This is like the perfect place, kind of, trademark. It's also kind of an awful place, but we're gonna make it work anyways. Conductive wire we don't have over here. It looks like we don't have big electric poles over here either. Oh heck, we don't have big electric poles over here. All right, maybe I was a little overzealous with my design philosophy. I mean, we have plenty of red circuits over there. Oh, I really want to use the really long-handed, extremely long-handed filter inserter. Like, what a item, what a name, what a design. Whoever made that genuinely deserves a raise. It's kind of peak. I know that this is like a mod, it's like a fan project too, but let me have this, alright? My world where all the cool mod developers can all get paid a bunch for their cool mods that I play. Heck. Alright, we'll put this down here. Where are my big electric poles even being made? There they are right there. So I want to put those on a belt. It looks like we also need wires. So advanced circuits are coming up here. We can now get wires and big electric poles on a belt. And wouldn't you know it, we have both of those things available right here, as it were. I can't filter these though, so we're gonna have to use an underground really quick, and then we'll filter right here. We'll filter for the wires they've already successfully grabbed. We'll have this come up, and then we'll have that go like that, and boom. We now have another thing. This is again getting a little bit spaghetti design-wise, but this is the mall, so I'm not looking to make this like what's a good word for it? Elegant, maybe? Is it elegant or eloquent? Are those two separate words? Did I gaslight myself into believing that eloquent is a word? Elegant? Eloquent? I'm not actually confident that's also a word. We do need some of these matter units. I think what I'm going to do, these takes 40 for each craft, so it does take a pretty significant amount. I was going to rip it from one of these machines, but the machines make 0.5 per second, so that would mean we make a substation every like minute and some change, which is really not ideal. So I'm going to try and see if we can steal some of these and bring it up through here. It looks like we should be able to just fine with a few fancy schmancy underground belts, so let us go ahead and thank you so much for the matter units. Eloquent is when you can use words good. All right, well, I'm going to stop using eloquent then, I think, to save a little bit of face ahead of time. Because I don't think I word goodly. But I am elegantly weaving this belt. So that's something. Right, smile. By elegantly, I mean holy spaghetti. This section of the factory gives me anxiety, to be honest. Like, not like really, but it kind of does a little bit. It's rough, but you know what? It's the mall. It doesn't have to look pretty. It just has to work. Plus, I might move the whole mall, but like whenever I move the mall, I'm always like, I'll make it from scratch, and it takes like a really long time. Cool. So now we're making substations, which is great because I love them, and we want a good stockpile of them. Probably gonna make a request for them myself as well because I'm a big substation fan. Fast, I appreciate the rating party. Thank you so much. Hopefully, you're doing just stellar today. It is always nice to see ya. Glad I could catch your stream. Was it yesterday or the day before? I think it was yesterday. Yesterday makes more sense for me. Hello, hello, hi, welcome, welcome. We are ultra cubing, redesigning our rare earth metal smelting stack, which is a whole nightmare, but it's a beautiful nightmare, and I think that's the beautiful part of Factorio. Okay, so that's working. Obviously, this is going to be a little bit slow because our production of conductive wire is like one machine, I think, somewhere. Oh, this one machine's doing its best. We can make it faster because clearly it doesn't have enough metal. How's stream going tonight? Stream is just fine. I started a little bit late because I had the plumbers come and they ended up not fixing anything, which is cool. But they still replaced a bunch of stuff. And then they were like, yeah, you know what? You still got problems. And I was like, awesome. I'm looking forward to spending another time with them. I also accidentally locked them in my house for a little bit, which was really alarming. And I felt really bad when it happened. It was a whole awkward thing, but it wouldn't have been like a visit without something weird like that happening, so I'm glad it happened. Kept me on my toes. I think I want to move this entire thing downward now. Yeah, I have the habit of like deadbolting the door and stuff whenever like I'm home, especially when I'm home alone. So I just did it when they like came in, and then they were like trying to get out and they couldn't figure out how to do the door, and I was like, oh, here we go. They're gonna be like, this chick's trying to kill me, and I'm gonna be like, I'm not trying to kill you, but I totally get why you're feeling that way. Your worries are valid, but still a little bit misplaced. Cool, so that lines up perfectly with where that was. I think this is probably gonna be the resting place of this. The bots will get that down now slowly but surely. Worker robot speed 5 is completed. What else do we want to go for? I guess cliff explosives. It might be relevant for building later on. Braking force. Bulk inserter capacity ones could be good too. It's really just like passive upgrades that do like a little bit. You know, they get the job done. Alright, so something else we're going to need to take into account is loading upwards, so we're going to need some belts to load as well. So let's get those started coming down here now. And then I think we're going to deconstruct this pretty soon. The issue is that as soon as we deconstruct it, it's going to be such a big pain. Because I'm going to need to redo all the circuit logic. I mean, I say all the circuit logic. It's just like this specific output thing is going to have to function somewhere else. It's not that big of a deal. I'm being a little bit dramatic, but I really need this space so we can set up a proper stack for these crushers. These 6 have already been working overtime, and their setup now is not the prettiest. I want to fix that if we can. Doubling it to 12, hopefully. Food beckons, legs numb and tummy rumbling. Enjoy your food. Thank you so much for the raid and stopping infest. I appreciate you. Let us also, while we're wandering around, handcraft some of those, what are they called? Ultra-dense furnaces. Everything is kind of ultra-dense in this world. We got an ultra-dense cube, an ultra-dense furnace. I don't totally understand the concept of what makes something ultra-dense. I assume the concept of ultra-dense is like a real thing, like you can have something that's ultra-dense. Or maybe it's like a physics-based thing, but again, I've never taken a physics class before, and it really shows when I have to do stuff like this. So I don't know if ultra-dense is just saying it's very dense, or it's like a real concept or not. I think I can nab some bricks from over here. I don't think it's going to be enough bricks, though, for the furnaces, because they take, like, what, 100 a stack? Yeah, let's go over to the actual box of them. Thankfully, I have the long reach mod on, because it was recommended for this pack, or at least, like, part of the dependencies or something. I don't know if it was fully optional or in it. You can just nab some from pretty far away, and now I've become really attached to it as well, which is a real problem, because I'm going to miss it when it's gone. But I tend to not use too many, like, I don't know if QOL is the right word, but, like, I just like to play with the mod pack intends or, like, the vanilla intends. No disrespect, of course, if you're super into running a more modified version of the game. Whatever's most fun for you is the important thing, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them crafting. I can repurpose 4 of them that are down here. So we'll need 12 of them in total. We have 1. So that puts us at 9. We'll have to make 3 more of them. And that'll be enough furnaces for the new stack up there. I think to start, I'm going to plug in the part of it that is just this like refined stuff, because we don't have the other part of the stack done yet. Maybe I won't even plug it in yet. Maybe we'll go for that car ride in the ultra dense car. I guess the car itself isn't ultra dense, but it's running off ultra dense cube. So it's kind of ultra dense. It's honorary ultra dense. Oh, this looks so nice when it starts cascading all of the matter units. It does get stuck for a little bit, but again, that should fix the moment we get better belts. Cool, so that should be our last one. So we'll handcraft those. I'm gonna go ahead and try to get this on its way out if we can. I'm gonna manually have to grab the cube out. But it shouldn't take too long. Again, this side just takes longer to empty than the other sides do, just because of how the line goes. It's not even meaningfully more. Sweet, I got the cube. I was hoping to grab it before it finishes this process. We'll be a little bit behind on our matter, but it doesn't matter. We need to go take it because it is the only thing that makes our car really viable to drive around, because our car is very slow. Don't we have a car in us? Do I not see it? I don't see a car. I wonder what happened to our car. I must have put it into a box. I'm gonna make a request for it. Surely it'll arrive for us then. Alright, cool. Apparently the car just blew up at one point. Or it's probably just on the map. I'm being silly. There's a car, but that is the calcium car, which we don't mess with. Weird, I don't know what happened to our other car. I mean, we have a car maker actually, so it shouldn't really matter. I swore we had a car on us, but I really don't see it. Let's clean up our inventory a little bit. We don't necessarily need basically any of these on us right now, so we can clean them out and then go on our merry way as we're walking. Train stops and whatnot too, we can just let the bots take them. I forgot I have the cube on us. Oh right, we need the cube. I was gonna go drop it back into the system, but we want to take it for a quick joyride. So I want to figure out where our closest rare metal is. Ideally over 4 million. We have a few of them near us that are 1 million each, but we're gonna be eating a lot of them. So I'm thinking that it's probably better to hold off on doing a smaller amount of them. Speed modules is going to be on the agenda as well as setting up the other signs. I don't know if we're gonna get to the other signs today or not. Depends on how quickly this stack goes up and how quickly we get the new mine up and everything. If it goes up quick enough, maybe we'll work on the new science. Alternatively, I want to work on improving the other science. Really love the color of this material. It's so nice looking. We might need to set up a deep core powder destruction of some kind as well, which is kind of alarming. I hadn't considered that to be like an issue we would pop into. So I'm going to steal one of those cars really quick. It appears we did not have a car in us. And then we're going to get out of the factory before we plug in the energy, because last time I almost blew up the factory and we would rather avoid that. That looks good over there. So we'll go ahead and pop the cube in the fuel and then we'll go take it for a quick joyride. I guess we'll just head west and see what we find. I love this thing. Although the deceleration is really tough, so I'll be a little bit careful. Thankfully, hitting a wall does not kill us, but hitting a factory certainly kills the factory. I guess I'll drive backwards for now. It feels a little bit more convenient. It's a little bit slower, I guess. Really would love to see some purple pop up on here, though. The closer, the better. So if I can, I'm going to try to swing by, make sure that we can find some near. If it's got to be really far, it's got to be really far. But we reached the point where, like, the trains are just not fast enough. That's looking good. 11 million, and we've already kind of found what we wanted. It's not even that much farther away. I mean, it is quite far, but it's not that much farther away. I'm gonna go scout a little bit more, because if we can set up multiple mines, it might be a good time to just kind of get them set up now rather than wait a little bit longer. I think if we get them all looking good, we'll be in pretty good shape. Alternatively, it'd be nice to find another deep core drill spot as well. Okay, this is just a peninsula, which is unfortunate. I don't know if a peninsula is the right term for it. Peninsula is like an inlet of land that just kind of like ends with water all around it, something like that. That feels right to me. In my heart of hearts, I'm going to call it a peninsula. Alright, let's check here to make sure there's nothing in down here. I doubt it. It seems like the things are kind of sparsely placed. Cliff explosives are complete, which will almost certainly find some use when setting up these faraway areas. Being able to like not have to go around an annoying cliff for a train is so nice. Although I think we might have elevated rails available to us as well. We do have elevated rails. We should probably be looking into those sooner than later. I think having those will, honestly, they'll save us cliff explosives if nothing else, which is something. Cool. So, gonna sneak around the bottom of the factory here. I guess there's not much of a reason to scout further west. Unfortunately, it looks like we have one deep core ore spot up here, which is nice to find in that one really, really big mine over there. And I think that big mine's going to be what we use to supply the second part of our setup. This being said, I want to start by setting up... First of all, let's slow down the car because I don't want to crash into anything. We'll pick it up and we'll have to recharge the cube manually. And then I want the cube to go back in the system while we're thinking, because there's really no real, like, huge benefit to us having the cube on our people at any given time. Other than, you know, obviously using the car to get around. But for now, I'd like it so the cube can actually start processing things so we're not at a huge deficit all the time. Perhaps it does look like we are really good on materials. Do you enter through there or do you exit through there? You exit through there. Unfortunate. You're going to cycle again. It's fine. It's going to be a little awkward, but no big deal. Cool. So I'm going to start by copy pasting some of our Roboport. I think I might have a blueprint for it. I do. This is just like to get coverage out in an area. Obviously, it's not ideal because you can't see it once you place it in the dark, but it'll be a start. We want to start making a little bit of progress out there. This looks fine. Honestly, I might just go waddle out there myself and set it all up. We should have enough roboports made. I think there's like... How many in the system? There's only 20. Alright, we really need to improve our stockpile of roboports. Wait a minute. Those are made here. Yeah, let's go ahead and set that up so it can hold at least like 60 or so. I had it limited initially because they are quite expensive, but I think the things that they are expensive on are less of an issue now than they were before, if that makes sense. They're still kind of an issue, admittedly. Cool, so that's loading down there. I think the cube's probably going to cycle one more time, which might cause issues. Hopefully not. We don't have any weapons or I think we have, I guess, cliff explosive. I don't think cliff explosives can hurt trees, but we don't have weapons, so I can't just grenade trees to get rid of them, which is annoying. I know you can use bots and stuff, but I like doing it the old-fashioned way, which is apparently throwing a grenade at nature. Maybe it's not the most moral way to do it, but it's certainly a way to do it. So the reason I'm setting this up is obviously because we want a train line to go out there, not because we're going to have the bots like bring back the ore manually. I don't know exactly where the train line's going to go, but the more of these we have spread out here, we can just set up roboports on the way if they don't totally match up. But getting vision of the area means we can do a couple things. Did we ever set up automation for drills? I don't believe so. We have electric mining drill, but we have resplendent drills as well now, which are quite fancy schmancy. They have a mining speed of 4 per second instead of 2 in a 9x9 area and a bunch of module slots. They look a little bit expensive, but they're not actually that bad. So I think we'll probably set up automation for those and do those drills instead. I don't think they're any bigger, but I do think they have the luxury of a bigger area, which is not like that big of a luxury. It's really the mining speed, but I also want to put productivity modules in them because I'd much rather these spots not be stuck as long. No, it's unfortunate. It looks like that one is overlapping on a cliff, which I'd rather avoid, so I think I might just suck it up and place it next to a cliff for now. I know I was talking about how we can like get rid of cliffs like fairly easily now, but I'd rather just avoid it for a little bit longer. Set up that blueprint one more time, not the copy paste because that is the wrong thing. Cool, and that should be like most of this area covered. So now if I go back, the bots will put this up in their own time. It'll be good enough. We can always set up later. We can start working on the rail line itself, which begs the first question, do I want them to be connected? I have the other rail line down here in the base, which is, you know, a bunch of things connected, and it's a little bit waggly. This one's isolated. This one currently is isolated. I don't technically need it to be isolated, though. The one issue I have is this area is so tight that it might be a little bit annoying. Granted, I could just set up like a single like line like this that just goes around it. It goes up and then straight down and then around for this one to get to its spot. Depending on where I'm gonna unload it to is a difference, but I don't see a huge benefit in having these lines connected if this one's going to be purely dedicated to this. Now, granted, when this dries up, we're gonna want it connected if we're gonna have it offload there as well. So it's like a double-edged sword, I guess. I don't know if a double-edged sword is the right way to put it. That feels a lot more dramatic than I intend for it to. Right, I wanted to update this, so I want 50 substations instead of medium electric poles, because heck, medium electric poles. I mean, they're kind of reliable, admittedly. But I really like substations. I want them. Looks like the cube is just chilling there again. Oh, you know what? Upgrading these to the blue loaders would also make a really big difference. I forgot they're getting limited by the red loaders there. So there's another improvement. A lot of tiny things we can do, but again, the blue loaders are going to come after we have science set up. Because we're going to be setting up the next science, which is, I think it's like spectral or something science. I don't know if it has a name. Surely it does. Synthetic Premonition card, which again uses those spectral processors and haunted energy shells, which takes the process of turning the cube. Okay, so that's how you get tendrils. It takes the process of turning the cube into like a ghost cube and then getting resources out of it. So in that process, we get spectralite, which can then be used for ghost wire, amongst other things. So we can have that process set up in such a way that it's going to have excess stuff so that we can make those loaders and whatnot from the extra stuff as well, more than just the science. It'll be good. I thought I made enough. All right, we're down 4. That makes complete sense. Can I set these up ahead of time? Should I set up the schmeltery ahead of time? I don't think it's too necessary. We're not really backing up that hard on stuff. But we will need to revisit the crushers and stuff anyways, so once we do that, the factory is going to be starved for a while. So ideally, we'll be set with the train once we set it up. Okay, why are we back here? We are back here because we wanted to set up, right, the fancier drills. Hopefully it won't be too bad to do it. I don't think it will be. I thought the drills were over here. They are over here. Electric mining drills are super simple to do. The next one seemed pretty simple as well, other than the fact that they take those resplendent plates, which do not come up here literally at all. Do we have access to requester chests? We do once we do the next research. This would be like the use case for that. I mean, there's plenty of use cases for requester chests, don't get me wrong. But in this case, at least, being able to bring those resplendent plates, which are the plates that are rocking on down here, which only just go down here. But then again, I think the ratio, we're slightly ahead on resplendent plates, actually. I remember setting this up so these 4 are extra. But they don't really go anywhere. So, like, bringing them up is going to be a huge pain in the butt. But alternatively, bringing this down will be a pain. Now, the thing that's worth noting is that we have a nice excess of engine units up here. However, this is super simple to make. Basic motor units is just like a few steps of matter, just matter to pipe, and then matter and pipe equals motor unit, and then matter and motor unit equals drill. So I think we're going to just build it down there. We'll set up a dedicated one separately, and we'll have it so that the, what are they called? The plates, resplendent plates? I think they're resplendent plates. I'm going with resplendent plate. We'll just speed up a little bit so we don't have to drag them across the whole base, because I'm getting real tired of dragging stuff across the base. Looks like our matter unit makes it this far down. So I'm gonna go ahead and nab some of that, I think. Now, this one belt of matter unit is obviously being very stressed, but in this situation at least, it shouldn't add much more stress onto it. It's still not like the most ideal ever. This space is very, very tight for it, so we're not gonna do it here. We're gonna move it a little bit more. Perhaps right up here looks like a better spot. Still not a great spot though, but a spot all the more, and a spot that we will take advantage of. It's actually a really bad spot. Stupid pipes, I hate pipes so much. They make my brain really struggle. Yeah, there's no good way to fit it in here. I guess technically I could have it go across the pipes there, that's not so bad. Maybe I'll do that to take advantage of space. This does make things a lot more compact, admittedly, and I don't necessarily hate that, but I also don't really love it. So, this will be our new drill setup, so we'll have it so that this goes to pipes, or from pipes, excuse me, which are somewhere for sure, pipes into engine units, into drill. That should be a very easy 1, 2, 3 kind of setup here. All they need is access to matter units. Thankfully, we have at least a chunk of substations now. I think I'm going to go back to using these medium electric poles just because they seem better in the use case of this scenario here. And I want to get rid of them anyway. So now, making electric mining drills. We don't have to make these particularly fast, but we do want to make them all the more. So we've got them being made. It's not going to be the most efficient, but again, it will be fine enough. These will output onto a belt here. And we need, it's the fancy engine units, which are being made somewhere. I don't think they're actually being used in this build, are they? No, they're not. They're being made up here, and they're kind of in short supply. This is not reading the belt, so this never functioned, which is good to know. I'm going to change this number up to 60, I think, as well. Well, it's an 80, actually. We do have, like, a storage of them that was building them. Actually, it's probably not even necessary anymore, because I think I set up one all the way up here. I did, so we have a bunch of them in a box up there where they're making excess. So let's go ahead and turn that box off altogether, and then we'll just hopefully be able to steal some of these. It's a little bit awkward to bring them, admittedly, but we'll cut this off. It's a little bit of an annoying thing to set up far away. Hopefully this will be fine. Morally, it's questionable. Sometimes you gotta do questionable things morally, you know? What's life without a little dubiosity? Dubiousness is probably a better word than dubiosity. Is it dubiousness? I don't know a good word for it. Oh, we can get rid of that underground. Obviously, we got a little bit of unexpected stone under there. But now, this should bring some extra motor units, which is nice. Which is half of our problem. But either way, it'll be really easy for us to Bring that bad boy down here and just bring it along here. Doesn't have to be anything fancy, but we just need to sneak it on through really quick. Again, this is going to set us back on our science a little bit when doing this, just because these things take 5 ever to make, and I believe I ratioed it perfectly. So it's going to be setting some down the line which aren't going to be used. This will also be slow to build because of that too, but it's fine. Again, we need it to happen, not to be particularly fast. I'm going to set this up down here. We have one of our 2 things already done, or 2 of our 2 things, I should say, already done. I believe I made those belts the wrong direction, so we'll fix that so those will flow. Pull the sulfuring glass off that. Great. How much is it for each one? 10 of them? Alright, yeah, these are going to be very slow to make, but that's fine. I think it's nice to have these in a box anyways. The only real place that we need these specifically is when we're doing uranium mining, which we've already set up. I don't know if we did the whole thing though. Now we have like none of them, but again, we're not ripping through uranium fast enough to really justify it. How is our... Oh yeah, we're looking good. I've only turned on one of our 4 reactors of our nuclear setup. I can turn on the other ones whenever. It might be a good time to set up a second one because clearly we're very positive, but if we don't need the power yet, I may as well just like save it rather than just ripping through cells that we don't necessarily need to rip through right now because they're not exactly the cheapest things ever. I have noticed that our unstable gas is gunked. Why is our unstable gas gunked? Did I break a pipe somewhere, or are we just out of unstable gas is the question. We are super out because we are out of refined tar. We are out of refined tar because we are simply out of tar. There was something we were going to do with tar, right? I guess we did upgrade it. It just hasn't been there for a while. Wonder why it hasn't come down here. It's certainly demanding the tar now. Interestingly, it's also being demanded up here. Where do you go when you finish off with this? You just go back into the system, you go down here, then you get tarred. It's an interesting setup I did too, because I set this up so that no matter what, this goes through the gelatinous tar. I guess we just always need gelatinous tar, so it's not an issue. How's the power doing? Look, cool. So that should get us some tar now. Wait. Heck, I set it up wrong. Why are you skipping the tar, buddy? That's where the issue is. What gives? Gelatinous tar is greater than 16? What does that mean? What happened here? 16? Why would you be reading 16? 16K maybe? Is it because there's 16 tar somewhere and that's what I messed up? Weird. I don't know when that happened. You're not reading any though, so it shouldn't be good enough, right? What the heck happened here? So you've got the right rule to go there. It's not equal to 1. Oh wait, why would you skip this? Okay, so it should be an or, actually, right? Because if it's not equal to 1, we don't want you going down that path specifically. But that is outputting a 1. So this condition is just set up wrong, I guess? I think I have it backwards, but it doesn't make any sense. Why would this be backwards? All right, let's think about this logically. So our condition here is that if this receives the signal that we need oil or uranium, it should be or instead of and. It's less than 16. I guess this was meant to be 16,000. If the oil and uranium are meeting specific conditions, the oil, or the gelatinous tar, excuse me, is below 16K, and our uranium does not read 1, but you should be reading 1, right? Why are you not reading 1 anymore? You are outputting uranium-235-1. Wait, why is your input signal 234? Oh, because you only have a new 234 in there. Okay, no, you shouldn't be outputting 1. You're good. That one is correct. So it should be equal to 1. I had that one right the first time. I always mix up the fact there's a 234 in this. It's really throwing me off. Cool, so now it's seeing we have no tar, so it should go down this path altogether. Because this path circumvents the tar altogether, which is not good. What a headache with that one. It must have been the fact that it was not an or. So whenever it didn't have anything for the uranium to be processed, it wasn't going over there. But why don't we have any? Did you stop processing? The box is entirely full with an absurd amount of uranium-238. Quite an alarming amount at that. Holy guacamole, I didn't realize how much of it we had produced in that short period of time. Well, let's go ahead and hopefully get some more of this down. I don't really have a way to get rid of it other than hitting it with a car, which I might do, or hitting it with a train as well. We will need to make a few of those mausoleums, I think they're called. Mausoleums manually, but that's fine. They're pretty inexpensive to make. Just gotta go nab some metal from the bell. It's not like we're about to run out of materials anyways anytime soon. But it won't make any more until then, so we should certainly fix it sooner than later. Okay, so now that it's done that little section up here, it should go back here, and then it should go to the, there's the cube. Should go down here into the gelatinous tar enhanced, which consumes coal, which I am concerned about running out of coal. We're clearly not going to run out anytime soon, but if we're always backed up on deep powder, we're going to run out, which is a problem. So it'll need to be something we just basically keep track of. That's much better. So now it'll run a bunch of times here. We'll be good on that. We'll make more of this, which we need a lot of. That'll go out. Everything will be fine. Do not panic is really what I'm getting at here. Or panic, but just keep it to like a very minimal amount of panic. Like a responsible amount of panic. That science looks really nice on a belt too. Do the other sciences look like that? I guess a little bit. They have a little like green dot on them. That one's got a big ol'... It's probably meant to be like an infinity instead of an S or something like that. Cool. So... let me finish making that because I didn't actually end up doing that because I got a little bit distracted. We will rip this off here. Whoops, grab a little of that action. I don't know where the best spot to go is. The cool S science. It's true though. Holy moly, it really is the cool S science. I didn't think about it like that, but you are absolutely correct, Reganomicon. Okay, so that's facing the wrong way. So the resplendent plates now go up here, which means we can now output the drills. Again, it's going to be very slow. It's not going to be super quick. I'd actually really like to make a dedicated spot for setting up more of the motor units, but man, it's such a pain. If we're not running science for a while, this will run a lot faster too. It's still going to be quite slow. We do have some of them being made at least for splendid mining drills. They stack up to 20. I'll have them capped at 60, so we'll at least have some come through. I think we can make like 6 right now at best, excuse me, 6 or 7. Cool. So the bots, we'll set that up. That'll be good. How are the bots doing expanding out that way? We have vision of the area now, sweet. Which means I can start looking at setting up the actual drills themselves. Oh my god, this patch is ginormous. I didn't realize how big it was. Thinking about it though, I think I'm gonna hold off on this briefly. I know we just set up all this and like what's the point of holding off now, but I think I want to go set up the other part of the setup first. I think I want to get these crushers moved, disconnect all this, and then have the bottom part of it running to start. And we don't need to set up any logic to get it to go in the top part at all. It's completely unnecessary. Reason being is I'd like to make it so that all of our ore is like functioning properly, and hopefully maybe take a little bit of a step to go get productivity modules, because I don't think we have those yet. We do have productivity modules. It just takes modular casing intervention units. If we set up these, it's going to take a lot more power, but it will give us, I guess, only 5%. It's kind of stinky productivity, actually. Is there mining productivity that exists? There is. We should probably do another one of those when we have time. I'll give so little, though. 5% is very, very insignificant. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of these loaders to start. Now, the downside of that is that this is not going to be able to run effectively at all in the meantime. So, oops, let's get rid of that, and then we'll do some underground belts. I mean, ideally not underground belts. Just belts coming down here to connect and be fed. How do we want to set this up is the question. I think that this is already kind of too low. I think we probably want it to be a storage system of some kind like we did before, but I really like, if we're doing 2 belts, I want to stick with the solemn receptacles because they fit that like 2 belt mindset. So let's try to make that symmetrical on this side. It really like barely touches the setup we have here too, which is nice. It's taking just enough space and not too much of it. Once the cube runs through here and leaves, I'm going to start disconnecting like everything else I can over here. I can technically leave this plugged in for one more operation. I'm hoping the cube just swings around one extra time. It looks like it will right now. It all depends on how much those boxes fill with my logic. But again, the base is going to be completely cut off when I'm setting this up. Now, thankfully, it should be as simple, to start at least, to take the logic from this, which is just taking in 2 things. 1, it's reading how much ore is here. 2, it's reading how much metal is in the box over here. It should just be able to plug the green in from these boxes over here, change the number to be appropriate, and then it should work just fine. In theory. Obviously, we need to plug it in as well, but it should be simple enough. And that should give us a lot more space to move these output belts here and have it be a lot nicer on the way out. Because right now we have so many of them coming down. It'll be so nice. Whoops, let's not do that. The shift button is truly one of our greatest allies, if not our greatest. Key, I guess, instead of button. Okay, cool. So that'll help it cascade a lot downwards. Then we can start loading it. We're going to do a similar loading. We do have a loading up here, which is the same up there, but I'd like to have a second loader down here as well, which is probably going to be where we read the logic for now. I might change that part later on. It looks like we're getting through most of it. Cool. It is coming around for one more loop, which is what I was hoping for. I'm going to do some divine intervention here and just manually remove a good chunk of the rare metal from this box so that I can start very quickly working on the next section. So cool. Again, we're going to need to plug a green into the back of here. At least one, probably 2 of them. So now these are going to want to feed. For now, I guess I'll just use these belts and then we'll make new ones in a little bit. These are not going to be the permanent belts. This will be fine for now, just so that it'll keep running for the moment. Again, not the most ideal, but fine enough. Kind of what we're going for here. And I'm going to start deconstructing these parts as I kind of sneak on through here. It looks like the cube has left the build for the final time for this specific running operation. We will have some extra ore in here, so maybe if it's enough to run it once more, which it looks like it is, I'll have the cube actually just like stick through it really quick. I want to start getting everything else going up here if we can. No more loading, but we'll keep the other parts fine for now. We'll fix this belt in a little bit, but this is like fine for the moment. Cool. So now these upper machines are loading. We can make sure that those are loading properly. Alright, I should handcraft some of those repair things. I really should have set up automation for those. Are they annoying? They're a little bit annoying. I'll just handcraft a few more. It's really just those n-dimensional widgets, but I don't think I set up recovery bays. Nah, no chance. Refined concrete is done, which is nice because we need that for elevated rail. I'm really surprised we're rocking a whopping 22 science per minute because genuinely that's actually quite high for us right now, which is a little bit embarrassing to admit, but look, Ultra Cube has been tough. It's been not the smoothest experience of all time, but it's been a growing experience, which I think there's something to be said for. The cube did not come down here to resupply our widgets for some reason. Or maybe it did and then didn't spend long enough here. But we certainly need more of them. So I'm going to go ahead and nab the cube on its way through. Fortunately, it's doing that thing where it gets stuck in there for a little bit, which will be rectified once we have the better loaders. But for now, we have to just suck it up. But I want to be able to make at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those. Do I have n-dimensional widgets in like a storage box somewhere? It doesn't look like I do. Let me make it so that we can have some of those on request for the future. Obviously it doesn't fix us right now. Maybe be able to steal some from the belts of the science. Looks like we can steal a chunk of them. Cool, it's starting to make more of those. It's going to just cycle through all those really fast. We want to quickly grab it and then run it through the metal one more time so the metal is completely empty. And obviously get some more of those widgets if we can, because we need a little bit more. It looks like... Oh no, we have plenty of widgets. I lied. We have Mondo widgets. I was completely wrong in my assumption. The cube is now coming down this line here. it will resupply the ultra dense furnace, and then it'll output down to here and then go around again, it looks like. Not around again. I mean, actually, we'll go around again, unironically, but we're going to steal it before it does. For our own evil, nefarious purposes. How many of these are we making? 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 2 on us right now. It's basically enough for one go around. I'm going to keep looting in the meantime. It's really like right where the cube has to go by. Ah, heck. Technically, it doesn't have to go by. With my rules, it will skip doing the loop again if there's nothing to do there, which is good. I mean, that means it shows that our circuit logic is working. I do want to take a short pit stop here, though, so that I can resupply some of the n-dimensional widgets, because clearly we're very, very low on them. I think our rule might be a little bit generous for it, because I think it's like how many's in the box? It's like 80 or something, then it stops, yeah, which is not nearly enough. I need to make a better rule for that. Perhaps a bigger box and a larger number to store them. That is a future us problem. I really just want to empty those out, because currently we're not going to get like any more metal. We can already see they're kind of running out right now. So if we can just go through one more quick cycle of loading them, that would be quite nice. Cool, so I believe this is the line in which the cube normally comes through. So if we could, I would like to steal it and then we'll move the cube up. We'll have it feed left side again like before, I suppose. I mean, honestly, right side would probably be more convenient. Logic-wise, it's a perfect circle that goes clockwise. So if we feed it here, it actually makes a lot more sense. So I'm going to try to feed it on the right side if I can. Again, I have this stupid setup here. You know what? I'm going to just move the whole thing over a little bit. It really doesn't need to be here. And it could just be like rotated a little bit. It would be so much more convenient. Like genuinely, just go up here and then you're just like my dream. It doesn't get any better than that. Thank goodness for bots. I don't know where I'd be without them. Cool. So that should be better now. They are outputting on the same side as they were before, so nothing should meaningfully change. Except now we have the luxury of being able to load our cube on this side and offload it on this side as well, which we didn't have before, but now we do because we're heckin' cool-ish. Cool enough. I would say like requisite cool for doing a maneuver like this, which genuinely I don't think the bar is all that high, to be honest, so we can do it. Obviously, we can do a little filter action here as well. We need to filter this for this cube. We don't have the full logic for it yet right now. To keep it simple, I'm going to filter it so that these will... I mean, technically these don't need filters on them, but it kind of helps me keep track of them because these can only insert the cube. I'm going to just set them up now in case they need to be relevant later. But currently, it will go through this inner loop over here and then just spit it out because there's no other option for it. So it'll go around, it'll go down here, and then it'll go in here. I guess it'll try to go in here, but it won't. We'll have it do this instead. Boom. That way it'll do exactly one cycle of this stuff and then be out. I'm guessing that'll be sufficient, especially for what we're cooking right now. So hopefully that'll be fine. This is our cube line. I'm going to move our cube line. Okay, the cube does not have the ability to be repaired over here anymore. I forgot about that. Everything over here ran. Yeah, there's like barely any here. Good job, cube. Gonna manually repair you and send you home, I think. Sounds like a good plan to me. In the meantime, we can deconstruct a little bit of this stuff, but not too much of it. I want to make sure that the cube line kind of stays here because I like the cube line being here, which is why, again, we're going to try and bring it up here. But now that the cube is free, we're going to go ahead and put the cube over there. Now, I'm going to manually put the cube far away because currently it has logic where it's going to come over because it's going to sense that something is like... I guess it actually won't see the rare earth metal, so it shouldn't come over. It should see that we don't have enough. Hopefully, it looks like it would be fine. Cool. So, let us change... I guess we'll just deconstruct this to start. The furnace can go... Honestly, basically all this can go. I hope I'm not making a mistake doing this. No, I think this is fine. Be confident in your decisions, right? Maybe it's really not fine, but sometimes you just gotta pretend it's fine. And if it's not fine, you fix it later. Or it never gets fixed. That's the beauty of being an engineer, right? Is you can fix it, but like, who's gonna make you? It's your factory. Cool. This is so stressful. I hate taking down like a part of a build that's been there for so long. It's so stressful. But it's gone now, so we'll now deal with the aftermath, as it were. This is the cube down line. This is the cube up line. Now, another issue I kind of have is the cube is getting real heckin' far from its original lines that it was going down before, which is a little bit unfork knife, which means it takes more time. But again, hopefully I only need to go down there every once in a while rather than spending a trip down here, you know, every X amount of minutes. It should be way less. Cool. So this is now connected how it was before. So the cube goes in up here and then goes out down there. Now this is not taking into account any of the logic for loading the cube in the top part. The top part is effectively in a different concept right now. The cube will load in here. It will make a big cycle. Once it finishes going through here, it'll repair and then return to the live stream. We'll have to use one more. Ooh, that's really awkward. I guess it's not that awkward. One more of those there, and then I guess one here. I don't love how it looks though, so I'm gonna put one there to kind of balance it out. Cool, so that looks good. I don't have to filter this, but I will filter it for cube just so we can keep track of where everything's going. So the cube input and outputs are done. We will need to make some more loaders, it looks like. What does that take? I don't have. It looks like just metal, which is almost certainly going to be completely empty when I go to grab some of it, which is a shame. There's still a little bit of it left. Yoink, we'll grab some of those. Make 4 more loaders. Although I guess we don't technically need the loaders right now, thinking about it. I'm going to, because we're only going to be doing the outside loaders right now. I'm going to instead call a deconstruction of these, I suppose. We'll set up the wiring gun later. I don't know where the other loaders went. Ah, they went in the top side. Okay, we do need more loaders. I was wrong. I forgot about the top side loaders. I'll deconstruct these, and then hopefully the requisite ones will run. Because again, these middle 4 lines just ain't running right now. It's just part of the dealio, unfortunately. Cool, so I'm gonna handcraft these remaining 4 that we need. It'll take a little bit of time, mainly because of those motor units. If we have motor units in a box, I should steal them, but I don't actually know if we do. Let's check our logistics. Motor, we have 1,000 in a box. I'm gonna make a request for 200 of them. That'll give us a lot off our back. It is several inventory spots. Maybe we'll do 100, so we're not like wasting too much time. Cool, so that looks good. This is double the size of our stack before, and it has the framework for a separate stack, which isn't going to be plugged in just yet, but it exists, which is, I mean, it kind of exists. It doesn't totally exist, but it exists as much as like the Phantom Cube exists, which is good enough for me. I don't think I have enough repair thingies up here. No, certainly not, but that's okay. This part, which needs it, has them, so that's the good thing. The bots are going to bring me some stuff now, so I'm going to undo these requests to craft because magically we're going to craft them in a fraction of the time now, which is quite nice. Get rid of some of this excess wood on us. It's running through the tar, which is perfect. Everything is looking good. It's just these upgrades we need to do where if it goes to a spot again, it spends time there, gets out quickly, and then doesn't come back for a while. That's the dream. Like a well-oiled machine, as it were. Wow, I'm surprised our demand for sophisticated battery units got so high. I guess it's probably because of those, whatever the heck they are, the resplendent mining drills. No, I guess it doesn't use them at all. Holy guacamole, we have 23 already. That's a huge surprise. I thought we'd have way less. I guess we spent some time on it. Guess that mine's probably going to be coming up pretty soon, so I guess we'll start the rail work. I still haven't decided if I want them on the same rail line or not. That's like really eating away at me. I may as well connect them. There's no real reason not to. It saves us some rails, I guess. But it also makes me use rail signals, which is not the end of the world, but I don't think I have them automated anywhere. Do we have access to rail signals? All right, well, we'll use the same line then. So what I'm thinking is we load probably in the upper side up here, go straight across here, and then straight down here for the sake of like simplicity, which also means we want more roboports. Let's start setting those up now. Again, I just have this very simple setup just to get them out there. Headache-free roboports, as I like to call them. Finished elevated rails. We don't have any tech running right now. I could leave everything off, but again, we're already like a can-do attitude. Increase the speed in which you can put buildings in your pockets. What a science. That's huge. I don't really know what tech we want to run. If we don't run any tech at all, we build them on more calcium. So I think spending some is a good idea because calcium is just like so spicy right now. I certainly want to go for this eventually because we have excess uranium fuel cells now. Can't really make it now. The cyclotron must be carefully charged for operation. A full charge takes 80 seconds at 3 megawatts. Is enough for a single use. The machine must be carefully charged. You make subatomic conduits. Oh, right. You're the really confusing thing, right? I have no idea what any of that means. We're going to be really in over our head. Oh, we can get Spidertron soon. I forgot about that. The joy of seeing something again that I've already seen a few times. Oh, mystery furnaces too. Okay, I forgot that they're like sacrificing into the spirits. This mod gets so weird. Ultra fast logistics is probably the next play. Oh, I thought that that took the fancy stuff. It looks like it just takes the... Oh no, the splitters do. But we can certainly upgrade to those express transport belts turning into ultra fast ones very, very quickly. So I think I'll queue that one up next because that's going to be another really nice upgrade. Now, the cube is chilling there. All right, cool. It's actually working. I just have like a 5-second idle time when the cube gets in it for some reason. I should probably remove it so it saves a little bit of time. But this looks good for now. I'm going to need some more solemn receptacles, apparently, because I only picked up the one, which makes sense. So I'm going to craft another one of those. Do we need more up there? It looks like a no on that front. We're making our final loader for the setup and then our solemn receptacle. I'm going to have it so that the belts aren't going to be final here. I'm going to set them up so that these four just connect back into here like they were before, but I think I'm going to redo them in a little bit. But for the moment, it'll be a lot simpler to just keep the belts as they were and just connect them across. So we're going to do that. Now, something I would like to set up is some logic to make it so that it'll run through the furnaces multiple times when up here. Currently, because it's going so far away, it's a little different than before. Because our logic for that before is, like, per perspective, we were smelting about here, give or take. And the logic for that is right here. This is where it goes, you know what? We have a bunch more stuff, swing back around, which took a little bit of time. So if I could set that logic up right here instead, so it goes, you know what? I want to ride Mr. Bones Wild Ride again, you know? And then it just immediately goes through. It looks like I'm not going to need this for my setup either with how I'm doing it. So we're going to set up, hopefully, Mr. Bones Wild Ride circuit logic over there. Hopefully. It should be simple enough to do. Again, we're going to only be using... Oh, I guess it will cascade the lines. Let me get rid of these for now. Because, again, these aren't going to be used at all. Cool. Obviously want those to come down. Perfect. That looks good. Should only be those outer ones. Bring this down and then slap it out there. And then we can bring these down. Cool. So this should, in theory, have metal set up for us again, outside of setting up these boxes, which we haven't done yet. So let us go ahead and set them up, shall we? Going to put some medium electric poles across here, and then one down here, so that we can have an easier way to connect our wires. I think I'm going to do it like this. So it just reaches out from there, then goes down here. And all we should need to do is plug this in down there. I'm willing to change these wires out later, but they should... Whoops. There we go. This should be fine. So now you're not reading anything. Because this doesn't actually connect yet, because I forgot that part. There. Honestly, that's frankly valid. So now you're still not reading anything. Why are you not reading anything now? Because there's literally nothing in this box because I set it up without loaders because I'm dumb. That's honestly fair. I can't even say that you're wrong for that decision. I would like to say that you're wrong because I'm a little bit embarrassed about it, admittedly, but you know what? Sometimes you just need to take the L and then move on with your life. And that's life, baby. That's how it goes. We'll fix that really quickly. We do need to handcraft a few loaders. In the meantime, looks like the cube is doing normal stuff and it is about to come down here. So the timing is actually quite nice. Unfortunately, it's not going to have the logic to come up here because I didn't get those plugged in time. I am going to nav it manually though and stick it on the path to Schmeltitude. Again, this means it's just working. It's just I didn't have everything set up properly yet. So I've successfully nabbed it. We're going to circumvent it. We're going to send it just to see that it goes through everything. I'm willing to bet I messed up something somewhere, and it's much easier to test something and see it in real time than to effectively guess later on. So the cube is going to go down here. It's going to go through this machine here. This machine runs. It looks like 2 inserters might be an insufficient amount to unload. I hadn't considered that, but it does make sense. Let's up it to 4. I feel like I had established that 2 was fine before, so it's a bit of a surprise to me, to be honest. Not a big deal to fix, though, mind you. It is just a little bit of a surprise. So we'll copy paste those over really quick. I'm gonna do those as well while I'm in the neighborhood. I've noticed the cube is stuck somewhere already. I will work on it in a moment. I just need to focus on fixing this real quick, like. We'll set that up over there. Move this down here as well. Copy those. Boom, boom. All right, great. So now let's go figure out what the heck went wrong somewhere. I also realized that this is going to need to get power somehow, which is really unfork knife. But I will in fact set up just a deluge of medium power poles in the middle for my sins. I will, however, fix the power poles so that they look nice. That's why I got stuck, I see. Which is a good sign. That means things are actually working. That specific lockup is totally palatable. Cool. So now the cube is returning on its journey, so this does work in theory. Again, I didn't set up the logic for sending it through again or anything, because we still need to finish like a few loaders and stuff. Everything needs a little bit more love, but that's okay. What do we need for loaders? Some spectralite. I should have a ton of spectralite. I was gonna say I don't think we have any more. We should have a metric boatload wherever I stored them. There's the spectralite. This was from when we turned the cube into 64 smaller cubes, so like, we haven't done that for a while, but we made a bunch when we did. It's a good sign. It means when we get to actually doing that proper, we're going to produce so much spectralite where hopefully it'll just be like, oops, sorry for smacking you there. Hopefully it'll be good. And we won't need to stress it too much. It looks like the cube is coming back because the logic is actually working now, which is both a blessing and a curse because I've been caught ill-prepared. And I do not have the requisite supplies to maintain such a ravenous demand. Can I make one more loader with this? Or am I... Okay, cool. We're good. So I'm making 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more loaders. Unfortunately... Okay, it's actually running up there. I was going to say the left side's not going to run literally at all, but we had so much from before that it's fine. I wonder a better way to unload these. I mean, loaders would just be so nice. If I had loaders on these machines, it would go crazy. I don't know if that actually works. I assume it does. That's something we want to consider as well. Of course, the better the loader, the better the belts, the more things we can fit on them because they're moving so quickly, effectively. Space is an issue on a belt, but the faster it goes, the more things can go through the belt and the more things we put on the belt. So the faster it is, technically, the more space you have, kind of. I can't believe our science is so consistent. Cool. Now this one's going to be able to go up as well. I'm going to copy this one as well. And this should be fine for at least having it run on occasion now. I will need to change the logic a little bit more. I mean, I probably don't. Right now I was checking to see if there's over 1,000 of the ore inside of one of those boxes. Appears the cube got stuck again. Why are you stuck, my fair cube? It's peculiar that you went through another cycle, I guess. Maybe you didn't go through another cycle, you just never had ore back there. You know, it makes sense. Ore physically can't get to 2 of those spots. I'm going to briefly borrow a couple of these. I really should have just set a splitter down forever ago. This is fine. I mean, this is a better solution. It'll just take a little bit to handcraft them. It's going to be stuck there for a little bit unless I manually do some stuff. So I'm going to take it out of... Whoops. Really did not want it to do that, actually. I think I can nab that bot in the air. Is that legal? No, you're so fast. All right, bot you in. Kind of a huge waste of rare earth metals, but so it goes. Cool. So I threw a bunch in there so we can at least run it, which is good enough. It's just got to cycle through once more, and then it'll be on its merry way. I'll plug these belts back in for the future so I don't forget. We've handcrafted these, so hopefully these will fill, and then we'll be a lot better off. Currently, These lanes are mutually exclusive. Apparently we've done 1 million rare earth metals at 33 hours and 36 minutes and 53 seconds, which is kind of a, frankly, disturbing amount of rare earth metal. I'm gonna put a splitter here because I think that one side is a lot more fed than the other. We're gonna need to remake all this anyways, so moving this up might be a good idea so we have more space for crushers. It's certainly a good idea. So I'm going to turn these off temporarily so I can move this whole setup up a little bit. Cool, so I'm going to dismantle this, and then, and by a little bit I mean like all the way effectively. There's no reason to have this set up so far down. We're gonna need to crush a lot more. And having a nice like uniform crusher setup where things look nicer instead of getting all scrungly bunked like they are down here will be very nice. Thankfully it's very, very easy for us to fix. Cool, so now we have metal should be roughly evenly flowing. This side will fill up later on, but that's no big deal. Something we can consider doing is I could get rid of 2 of these and make it like be a little awkward with the power pole here. I guess I could make it at the end here with a loader and just have it so that it loads a bunch of ore here. That would be really smart. If we had produced enough ore to justify it, having a dedicated box to each of these would be really, really cool. But again, it'll take quite a bit to get to that point ore-wise. Currently, we just moved our whole setup upwards and doubled it effectively. So now I think it's time to fix our crusher setup. This being said, we're going to need more crushers. I currently have 6 of them. I can make 2 more. I don't think 8's going to be a satisfactory amount for what we want. I'm going to try for 12, I suppose. 12 takes up a lot of space, though. We have the space now, so we may as well go for 12. So what do I need to make more crushers? Looks like I have 3 on myself right now. There's 6 in existence, so we have 9 of them. We need 3 more. Crusher. We need... looks like rare earth metals, which are right here for us when you know it. So we'll grab some of those really quickly, and then we will make some more crushers, which I totally know where they are. And I'm not struggling to find them at all. There they are. Perfect. Cool. So we'll make 2 more. There's 6 on the ground, 6 for us now. This is where, unfortunately, we're going to have to turn off all these machines for a little bit, which turns off the base for a little bit, which is always unfun to see. But we'll let them clear these out. We're going to remake it from scratch, and we're going to just have to suck up the fact that the base is going to have no metal for a while. It'll have a little bit when it comes through here, but only be able to do it once. So I'm going to let these empty out first so that they can get all the metal and the calcium out of their systems, and then we're going to deconstruct this entire thing. Particularly with this offloading section here, we're really not taking advantage of the fact that there are 5 carts worth of metal. On the other hand, now I'm actually feeling like doing 5 instead because it can make it very easy. Like 2 for each of the offloading sounds way more logical. So we're going to scale it down from our previous number over to 10 instead of 12. So let us unplug here. Stone goes in here. It looks like calcium goes in here, and metal will go upwards, obviously. I'm going to just call for a deconstruction plan. I know that like I have a little bit of like logic here when it comes to the outputs and everything, but it's so messy that I would really rather just do it again and start from scratch. I'm sure that you've all had like builds like that in Factorio where you're just like, I mean, maybe you haven't, but I often have builds where it's like, I need to like really restart. I don't love how this came out in the end. It's our starter crusher setup. Now we're going to have our second starter crusher setup. It looks like power disconnected from over here, so I'll quickly plug that back in. But cool. So now we have a lot more space and a lot more, I guess, luxury on how we're going to be handling this area. We'll deconstruct this and then this as well. This will be our ore outputs. Again, if we're doing 10 of them, we can have 5 of them dedicated to each of the 2 sides effectively, which will be nice for our setup. We finished ultra-fast logistics as well. What else do we want? Does coal liquefaction matter for us? We can turn coal into refined tar. It takes 20 and produces 100. That is a crazy recipe. I'm really surprised I didn't see how cool that was before. It takes a lot of coal as well, though, so we need to keep in mind that when it comes to coal, our coal is completely gated by how much core powder we use. Unless we have a way to get rid of core powder, which I don't know if I figured out yet. Because our coal comes from crushing deep core ore, which gives us deep core powder, which gives us coal stone, and that coal gets loaded onto a train that goes out. Currently, coal is kind of in in big supply, or in big demand right now. Not big supply. If only it was in big supply, right? Because every time we use it, there's 400 that goes into this recipe here, which makes gelatinous tar. Spits out 40,000 gelatinous tar for 400 coal. So we can basically say it's what, 1,000 to 1? No, 100 to 1. Excuse me, not 1,000 to 1. So with that logic, using it for that new recipe, the coal liquefaction, it's 20 coal to 100 refined tar. This is 400 to 240. Oh, my brain's really not able to process that. I mean, I guess that we can break it down simply, right? So this makes 100 activations of that specific recipe, right? For 400 ore. So this definitely produces more per coal, I think. But, I mean, we could use it if we have excess of it to balance it out, because we certainly need more refined tar than essential oils by like a pretty dramatic amount. Which is fine, you know, we'll figure it out. I don't know if we're going to do it yet. It's a coal recipe, but if we need to get more coal, effectively, like long and short, we need more coal. In the meantime, let's grab, what do we grab? I don't really care for Kovarex. No, actually, I do kind of want this, right? Does this give us the ability to process the fuel cells? Do we already have that? Maybe we already have the recipe for it. I was thinking we couldn't. Let me put down a ghost for one of those. I really hate not having the Factorio PD. It throws me off all the time. But let's throw one down and see if we can see if we have the recipe for it. Okay, it's not in that one. Maybe it's in our crafter. No, I don't think we have the depleted fuel cell recipe. I don't know what you're supposed to do with them. It didn't look like it was part of the Kovarex process, was it? Let me see, Kovarex. That makes radioactive sludge, which I forgot about, which is probably going to be relevant at some point. Oh, there it is. There's the reprocessing. And you could turn 10 of them into 2, 3, 4. Oh, okay. So that's a lot more useful than it was before. It wasn't bad before or anything, but being able to put out 2, 3, 4 when it's such a rare resource, I can totally see why it's locked behind a few. We'll set up researches for those. I imagine we're going to want radioactive sludge for some reason. I don't know why we're going to want radioactive sludge yet, but I imagine we're going to want radioactive sludge. So we'll probably just queue that up and use it at some point. For now, let us disconnect this stuff here. We will call for all this to be destroyed. Hopefully the bots won't bring it to me and I can just step away so the other bots will do it. And we'll work on our crusher setup because again, we are not exactly on a timer, but we may as well be on a timer. I typed in crusher really wrong, like profoundly wrong. We only have 4 crushers, because the bots have the other ones. So here's the thought, right? Comes out here. We can have a crusher setup where it feeds straight down here. This is going to be the general philosophy of this design. Okay, never mind. That design sucks. Forget I said anything about that design. That's an awful design. Whoever thought of it was truly on something and none of it was good. Let's get rid of that box over there. Because we have these like 5 load spots, right? So we definitely wanted to go horizontal outwards instead. Let me pick up this machine. Please stop giving me stone. I do not want it, Sam. I am. Thank you so much. Cool. So I can do the first set right here because it's kind of close. What we really want to prioritize is inputs and then outputs for the respective things we need to output, which is again coal, stone. This isn't coal and stone. This is going to be stone, calcium, and the ore that we want. So we'll use a filter here and we'll do calcium. I can set it up so maybe they're apart a little bit. I'd have to move this water pipe, which already doesn't connect from something I did forever ago. So I'm not super attached to this water pipe because it clearly, I mean, it doesn't work right now. So it's fine to not be super attached to the water pipe, I guess. I'm going to move the water pipe down a little bit. It didn't seem like that was a spot we really needed before, clearly, but I feel like we need it now. So let us do that. That's a bad spot for it to come through as well. As a certified oopsie moment. That's gonna bring it through, though. I don't think we have a lot of spaces, unfortunately. Heck. What is this water doing, even? It comes down here. Ah, this is our water offloading. I mean, that's pretty simple. We can kind of set that up wherever, right? By wherever, I mean, I'm desperately searching for a place for water to come through. What about down here? Honestly, that's really promising. I think that that might just be it. Then we just do an underground here, and it should be easy peasy lemon squeezy. Cool. That looks good. We can bring the water down here instead. Great, and then nothing really changes. Except for we get a bunch more space, which is nice. The space is good. Space is rad. You know what game I've never played but I wanted to try? I forget what it's called now that I've said it, so I'm a little embarrassed that I was like really ready to start talking about it. Dyson Sphere Program, that's the one. It's like Space Factorio kind of from how I've heard people describe it. I think space is pretty cool. This being said, I can barely handle Ultra Cube, so I doubt I'd be able to handle Space Factorio, but I'm sure it's a fun time anyways from people I've read playing it at least. It seems like it'd be a pretty enjoyable time. Cool, so this now goes over to here. For the sake of simplicity, I'm going to bring a pipe over here. Cool. DSP is easier than Ultra Cube for sure. That's crazy, really, Flip? I'm shocked to learn that, to be honest. Also, it is so nice to see you, as always. Cool. So, now our water connects out here. Our pipes are working and everything, so it should just have extra water. This should never run out. But Factorio Space Age is Space Factorio. Alright, you're not actually wrong about that. You're actually, like, profoundly right about that. That's a lot deeper than I expected. We're all kind of Space Factorio on this blessed day. Okay, so this needs to be the output for stone. I don't know how I want to do this. My logic was maybe what I can do is have like a central line for outputting all of these, which I think would look really nice if we set it up properly, but potentially not super nice in practice. My logic was we can have belts that kind of run parallel to each other. Like this could be like the output line for those, and the calcium can come down here with undergrounds, you know what I mean? Which could be convenient. But again, I don't know. It might be kind of bad. Let's go playtest it a little bit, see how it goes on the way, and then we'll make a call on if we want to keep it or change it up, potentially. Alright, let's move this out the way over here. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter where that is. We're going to need power poles powering that. Could potentially use some of our substations. I've noticed I've stopped getting more substations. It's either because I'm out of bot range or I am actually out of bot range, but I'm guessing this turned off instead. It did. There's no red circuits coming through. Why are there no red circuits coming through? It's because we have one red circuit maker, and the red circuit maker is going all into the box over here. Perfectly fine. Take your time. Store them up. We probably want them anyways for something, so I'm not stressing it. If I seem stressed, it's just unrelated stress for sure. Cool. So this comes out here, this feeds into here, and then those hopefully feed down into their respective belts, which will then go where they need to go, question mark. Didn't really think about this part hard enough, clearly. This is the calcium output here. I think I can do it a little bit higher up and then make this work, potentially. If I do something like this, I can have the calcium meet in the middle here. Maybe this might not work out. This might be not as cash money as one would hope, to be honest with you. It's not the prettiest either, but I think it works for the moment. Alright, so now calcium is going into the base at least. That's something. We don't have an output for the metal yet, but my plan was to have the metal output in more of a either upwards or on the side kind of way, because currently we want to feed two sides. So why don't we do it on the side instead? Because that kind of follows the logic of what we were going for. So I'll set that up over there. I want to move a few of these poles so that it'll look nicer, because I'd like to copy paste this entire design if I can. And again, the stone we want to load over to there. So this should be another easy one to just kind of swoop, and then there it goes. It's not so bad. This little area works quite nice. And then we'll have the metal go upward. Boom. Boom. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I say with very little confidence. Now, looking at this, I'm having a really jarring thought. I don't think this fits. I've invested. I thought this would fit. I don't know why I thought it would fit. It's fine. Like, I can set it up like this. It's just gonna look worse and worse the further it goes up, but it's fine. It's no big deal. I'm not mad. You're mad. I'm a little mad. I guess mad's not the right word, disappointed. These machines are one smaller. I think I could make it work the way I wanted it to. I think this is still the plan and will help us with a centralized offloading system, which is more the goal than anything else. Wait a minute, how the heck am I gonna load over to there though? Guess I can put this here instead. Then load like that. Cool, I don't hate that, I don't hate that. I'm gonna move that one up and we're gonna do the same thing here. Sweet, looks good. Again, the belt's just gonna be a little bit higher each time. I'm sorry. There's not too much I can do about it, except for whine, which I will do for the record, so please look forward to it. I guess I could use undergrounds to mitigate the damage a little bit. Realize now that these are absolutely in the wrong space, so let's fix those. Cool. Either way, we'll have this out offload in the same spot. This is not filtered as it were, so let's filter that really quick. Clearly a pretty big blunder on my part, but that's fine. Everything else looks to be filtered. It was just that one I didn't get because I just placed it down. Somehow this grabbed like all the right materials, it looks like. Can I make this connect down there? Cool, I can. Alright, so 2 of them are done. I'm already like not in love with the design, but it's fine. It could be worse. It could also be a lot better, which is such an unfortunate feeling. But it works, you know? Some inserters just got the instinct for it. Honestly, I aspire to be an inserter that has the instinct for it. They kind of have an immaculate vibe that I can't really match. Where's the cube right now? I'm surprised. Oh, right, no, this should work fine now. Oh, it's actually not connected at all, so the cube's just been doing nothing. I mean, the cube's been doing plenty, but also literally nothing, but also plenty while doing nothing. This should be dramatically more tileable now than it was before, hopefully. Logically, it should be because the bottom one had to be a little bit funky, so this should be fine to just copy from this point onwards, I hope. I should have grabbed the other machine. I regret not doing that, to be honest with you. Where would this inserter... Okay, no, wait, what? Okay, that is to line up right here. Cool. How does this look? Looks good to me. Oh my gosh, this takes up a gorillion space, but it should just kind of work. Hopefully. You have to be a little bit careful on some of these belts because some of them are a little bit awkward. I want to get rid of some of these belts as well because we're going to redo them. And then it should just be plug it in the respective spot. We left space, so again, it's just bend the belt upward and then it goes in. So this one already goes up here. This one we all have go up here. This one will go up here, and then this one will go up here. Oh no. It really doesn't matter that much, I guess. I will output priority left that one. How about that? Should fix our problem. Technically, it can output some of it down here, which is a little bit annoying. Oh no, I can't turn the belt there at all? Alright, it's a lot of bit annoying, actually. I mean, an easy solution is just to move this back a little bit. Maybe I'll have them all look like that now. For the sake of my own sanity. There we go. Heck, that makes this belt look dumb now, though. It's fine. I'm gonna just move them back like I was saying. Just copy paste this and then just whap it over there and it's no longer my problem. It's still kind of my problem though, because it looks like it's not eating the belts, which is fine. But again, space is important. Space is pretty cool. I would go to space if given the possibility to. I don't think I'll ever get the opportunity to go to space because like it sounds kind of expensive. And I'm absolutely not like made of money. But like, you know, off chance I see like a spaceship parked somewhere, I'm not promising I won't just be like, you know, let's hop on and see where it goes, you know? Okay, cool. That's better. Let's go plug it in over there. There. Get rid of this one. Make sure that's feeding right. I'm surprised those belts all broke, but it's fine. We'll fix them now. Boom. Great. So now we're feeding dramatically more, but these are not fully plugged in yet. Nor are these belts properly plugged in like they were once before. So let's fix these one in the meantime as well. I believe that this line right here was the ore line. So we're going to disconnect the ore line, disconnect these as well. And then we will have it go. Now, another thing is like, clearly I should have these feed a little differently because it's not ideal. So I'm going to just have it very simply put right here. We're going to have it so that it just kind of feeds the other side. You can move this down a little bit to satisfy the same demand. Boom. Feeds it just fine. That way we have both sides of the belt saturated. It's not perfect because it's 3 and 2. That's something I considered when doing 5 instead of 12, but like, it's fine. This lines up a lot better with our train setup. I guess technically we can get a better train setup. But look, we're doing what we can right now. What is this? So this can get removed now. That's the end of the stone line. This is the outputs of our normal stuff. So we're going to do something similar to what we did before. We just kind of collapse them into one for now. Normally they come around here as we established before. This looks so much nicer than it did before. I'm really glad we took the time to do this. Sometimes you just need to like do a little maintenance, you know? Do a little you stuff. Paint your nails. Hey, cool. Great, what do we want to do now? I guess we'll plug this back in so it can function. Make sure that our wiring is good for it to come down here, and then we can look at setting up that other mine, which should be easy because we spent a good chunk of time here having the mine like produce more schmelty boys for it, or miney boys, I guess. I should paint my nails. It's been forever. I need to repaint mine because the paint on them, I always wait too long. Sometimes when I go visit my mom, we'll go to get manicures together, but I always wait too long to repaint my nails every time, so it's just like residue and debris on them effectively of like old paint, which is not the end of the world, but I just take forever to do it every time. Usually I just paint it myself, so I have no real excuse other than just being kind of lazy. But it takes a lot of time, and like, if you want it to look good, you gotta let it dry properly and do coats and stuff, which is a pain. Okay, so this is good. This is now feeding up to here. This is no longer connected through logic, so I want to connect it through logic. We're going to use some big electric poles to just bring it up here really quickly so that this can... I actually have no idea where the combinator is. The combinator is here now. Why is it all the way down here? It doesn't really matter. Let's go plug it in up there a little bit. Boom, boom, and then boom. So now this combinator should be able to go, oh heck, you know, we do have a crazy amount of ore. Why don't we just go ahead and smelt some stuff? Cool. 3K not any metal at all. Should be fine to run now. It looks like it's running through the bottom of the base, so it actually have a chance to come around right now, which is nice. I guess I probably just took a train trip and I didn't notice it. My cube is so... I was gonna say obedient, but that's not quite the word I meant. It's just so good. It does everything. Great. So I want to craft some more of these loaders. So I'm going to handcraft them over time because I'd like to get these set up eventually. We're going to need 8 more of them, but we can just do a few for now. And now I want to set up some more logic here. We're going to do a separate combinator here. We haven't done combinators yet today, so it's been a good day, but we're going to ruin that now. So I want to check very simply on its own how much ore is inside of these boxes. I could make it a little bit smarter, but we're going to keep it very simple now. We're going to look at the refined ore. If there is over, we'll say, oh yeah, our numbers are going to be a little funky now too, because we need a lot more ore to run these, but it should be fine. If there is over, we'll say 2K ore, then this will output a signal. The signal will output is... Do we have any fun ones? Kind of, not really. But we can use explosion for the other one, but not for this. I guess we'll do info signal 1. That one's kind of fun. I like info signal. So if info signal 1 is red, then one of these will activate versus the other one. Very simple, to the point. All we're going to do here is go, if info signal, which is right here, is red, then it's equal to 1. We want it to go through the cycle again. If it's not equal to 1, we don't go through the cycle again. This is not going to be perfect. Reason being, especially right now, our ore is very clumped up and not quite where we want it to be. We should have enough to run it hopefully one more time. But now again, it's going to look and say, you know what? There's less than 2,000 ore in here. I don't want to risk it. We probably can't run the machine. Technically speaking, this process takes 8,000 ore rather than 2,000, so it's already kind of risky to do. But I'm assuming that it'll be fine to do it like that. So now, once it goes around the horn again, there we go. There's some of that risk we were talking about. Let me go and manually fill that. The sides will be lopsided because I turned on one side sooner than the other and had it storing sooner than the other, so it's a bit of a pain. Cool. Something I can do to kind of fix that is, if I want, I can set up a few splitters here to kind of balance them out over time if it ever backs up. But until then, it's going to be a little bit awkward. So it'll run through the system here, and now it'll go, oh snap, you know what? Info signal is not equal to 1. So then it'll spit out here and then go back through the system. But if the system says 1, it'll be fine. So I think to counteract this as well, we're going to go down there. We're going to go fix it so that it's no longer looking at this other symbol. Specifically right here, because this one right now checks for if there's more ore or not. That's what it's specifically looking for. An ore symbol spitting out 1, which is from this one over here. This logic is still needed. This one will determine when it comes down here. But I don't want this to be used strictly to dictate if it needs to loop around again to get us more of this stuff. That's it, right? So I don't mind having a loop through for the contemplative reclamation, but we already have it. So we may as well just completely delete this section because it is not useful for us anymore. We don't want the cube taking this big trip back up every time. This is a long trip for the cube. It's very ineffective. Because of that, I think it's better for us to just do everything here, and then once the cube's done here, it's gone. Because again, this is a very, very slow, long belt. But hopefully with it only needing to take minimal trips up here, it'll be much nicer. For now, we will have all of our stuff go down. I will handcraft hopefully a few more of those loaders, but it looks like I'm a little bit low on metal right now, which is totally fine because, you know what? We're starting to get some metal down the line, so I can steal a little bit of it. And while we're handcrafting those, I'm going to just stand over here. We're going to start setting up that other train stop as well. I feel like I've been streaming for 5 minutes. I look over, it's been 2 hours, and I'm like, where does the time go? I remember people used to, at least maybe they still do, joke about it, but people used to be like, oh yeah, one more turn when it comes to things like Civilization, which, by the way, enjoy Civilization games. I am so unbelievably bad at Civilization games that it is actually kind of sad. Like, it's almost a problem how bad I am at that kind of game. I don't remember the terminology for them because I used to be kind of good at StarCraft. Not like really good, but StarCraft and Brood War I was like okay-ish, not amazing. But like I had fun playing it, okay? That's the important thing, is having fun. But when it comes to things that are like Civilization games, I am just so bad that it's genuinely alarming. You could probably spell out exactly what to do and I would still do bad. I don't know what it is. It's a real problem. All right, I want to load upward, I believe. So I'm going to focus on loading upward, like I said before. These have a really big reach on them, so I'm going to hopefully just like keep some space between them. I'm not going to fully saturate the patch. I could, but it's just going to be a lot more power, and I kind of like this kind of design anyways. We can just keep it a little bit more on the nose. There we go. That way we can expand it upwards as far as it needs to go. And obviously we can trim the excess of these that aren't super necessary. But that way we don't need quite as many drills. It's still a lot of drills, don't get me wrong. But it's hopefully going to be something we can afford for now. Doing 4 lines of stuff here currently, which does line up pretty good for loading 8 things. And they're pretty even lines too. This side's certainly going to run out of stuff like instantly. In fact, I'm going to just remove this one ahead of time because it only has 200 it's going to mine. It's going to last like no time at all. I should probably bring these up a little bit actually because they're not quite matching where we want to. Get rid of those ones over there. Cool. So Now we can load it and then hopefully have the train go around. We don't have the train set up yet too, so let me start doing that. Like I said, I think I'm going to connect these lines. I don't remember why I decided I was going to, but I think I'm going to do it anyway. So we're going to have it just go up here. Are we kind of close to where we can turn? We are actually kind of close. Does this cut through anything? I really want to avoid cliffs. We have cliff explosives, but I didn't look how to make them. And I think I'm traumatized by cliff explosives taking 5 ever to make in normal Factorio. Cool, that looks pretty good. Hopefully the bots can kind of start on that. It looks like most of the area is covered, but not all of it, so we'll have our bots spread out as well. Heck. Alright, how about our cliff explosives? Give it to me. I'm sure it's Spectralite or something. Oh, right. I can't see it there. Let me remove this before I start placing it. So cliff explosives. They are profoundly easy to make, and I should not have been stressed about them. They are really, really easy. That's such a relief. I was avoiding cliffs because I kind of figured they were going to suck, but they're really not bad. So cool. So now if we have required cliff explosives, I can actually use them, which we're going to need here. So we'll set those up. And then we'll have the train come around here, have it loaded over here, and then we'll be good. Bring it around. Not quite yet. I guess I can just make more cliff explosives. They're really easy. I think I'm going to go automate them really quick because they're so easy. It's like actually quite shocking. Where do we have explosives going right now? Explosives are down here. Surely I can just like sneak it over here. I don't remember how bad it was. You don't even have to do quantum mechanics explosion cliffs to explode the cliffs. Yeah. Oh no, for sure. I'm really hoping I can avoid the word quantum altogether because it kind of scares me, to be honest with you. But for now, let's look at our cliff explosives. So we need some matter replication gel. What was the other thing we needed? Rare earth metals, all extremely easy. I think we're going to build it a little bit higher up and just steal some of those explosives. Rare earth metals come... Oh, actually, they come down here even. Hold on. Is it time? Can we make one? I think it might be time. We're going to make an extremely long-handed filter inserter. I cannot think of a better use case for an extremely long-handed filter inserter than this exact use case. This is like it was meant to be. Oh my god, I really like it. Don't tell the cube, but there's another object in Factorio Ultra Cube that I really like. I don't want to make the cube insecure, because I do really like the cube still. I also like the depressed bots as well, though. But this is extremely long. Alright, cool. So the metal is right there. So I'm gonna do an underground to there. And we put this here. And then magically, we have most of our stuff done somehow. So we'll set this for cliff explosives. I kind of hate doing it so close to the science, but it's fine. It's not that big of a deal. I'm gonna go ahead and steal some of this stuff over here as well. We'll do a splitter, and then heck, I didn't see that pole in the way because I have an inability to see when two poles are directly adjacent to each other. It is my one weakness. Please do not tell anyone about it. It's kind of like a vampire being invited into your home. And certainly don't fool me by placing two poles directly next to each other because I will not be able to tell anyways. Cool. Oh my god. Have you ever seen anything as beautiful as whatever the heck this is? Maybe. But like, it's pretty nice regardless. To be fully honest with you, it's quite nice. I actually don't want to offload them over there. I was going to, but let's just put them up here for now. What a wacky arm. I really like it. Cool. So this way we don't need to stress cliff explosives anymore. 60 of them will be fine. I think they stacked to 20. They do. That'll be plenty. That way we have some just like whenever we want to build. We don't have to stress it anymore. Let us get our Roboport coverage a little bit further along as well. How far did we get? We got over here, and look at, they blew up so many cliffs for us. Our lovely bots with their explosives. This should be fine. They're not going to line up perfectly, but this should be about the coverage we need. Would it be Vespiqueen? Honestly, that's a pretty good one, although I do believe it's Vespiquen, not Vespiqueen, and now I feel really nerdy for saying that, so thank you for making me commit to that. Today sucked butts? I'm sorry, today sucked butts. Some people really like sucking butts, so consider how good you might have it. So what's going wrong here? I've noticed that this is all broken. I never actually set up these to continue the path downwards. That is a solid oopsie. Hopefully now everything can expend its excess calcium. Just kidding, I didn't set up anywhere. Now hopefully it's fine. It's less than ideal, to put it lightly. A loader here would actually go bananas. Do we have an extra one? Let's do a loader here. Hopefully the rest of your day is better, Q. I'm sorry to hear it's going so scrungly for you. Cool, the bots are setting that up. Let us get a train stop down here. And again, I think I'm going to load 4 of them. Logically, it makes sense to me for what we want to accomplish. I assume I have a locomotive set up. I might not, but I'm going to assume that I do. If not, we'll handcraft one really quick. We'll wait for that to get placed first, though. I'm going to copy this. I love copying intersections like this. Makes it a lot easier to make it look like okay. Very convenient for it, at least. Rest of my day's gonna be shower, food, bed. That doesn't sound like a terrible day to me, to be honest. That day sounds like it can kind of rock with the right context and company. That looks good enough. We'll bring it out here and then bring it down. Bots can still see that. Again, I'm gonna unload above. I think that's gonna be the plan. Yeah, I'm super glad you can pop in too. Thanks for popping in. Always nice. Okay, so we're gonna unload and then have the train wrap around and get back on this line here. Actually, wait, this is a downward line. I'm going to disconnect it from the line, I'm sorry. That was kind of a poor decision on my part. This is supposed to be the outgoing one. I guess I could change the train's direction. That won't change too much then. You know what, I'll reconnect it. Sorry, I know I'm kind of making you go through the ringer on whether or not the train's going up or down, but I couldn't decide myself, but now I figured it out. It's going down or up. Which sounds like I haven't decided it, but you're right. So good job, I guess, for being smart. No, this should be fine this way, jokes aside. I don't want to unload it too close, but also I don't want it to be too far away. This looks like a fair amount of space to unload 4 lines of stuff, and then we'll just have it go troop and then back up here. Really easy peasy. Cool. Then we can share that one train line. It's not like much of a save, but it's fine. If we need multiple trains to be running on it or like to have them do different things, it'll be a nice upgrade for us. Let us also do that. I'm going to also turn off my personal logistic requests for a little bit, so hopefully they'll go and fill those substations on their own. If not, I can trash some as well. So we have locomotive set up. Let me check that. In the meantime, locomotive. Nope. Big ol' no. It appears the cube has gotten stuck, which is odd. Why has the cube gotten stuck? How long has the cube gotten stuck? Where doth the cube get stuck? All fantastic questions, ones that we lack answers to. I forgot to go put that loader down too. Let me do that really quick. I'm gonna just call for a loader. Where are you? Where was the problem? It was where the calcium was loading. That should be a nice improvement. I'm going to go ahead and trash that loader so the bots can take it. Fortunately, we got one of the slower ones coming over, I think, but that's okay because it's doing its best, and I'm proud of it personally. Alright, Cube, what happened over here? Did you... Oh, I see. Wow. I kind of messed up in like the only way I could. I mean, I guess not the only way I could, but I certainly messed up, unfortunately. So, I want everything here to cascade down. We'll do a separate inserter here. We'll have it filter for this stuff and we'll just put that here. And then that should be fine. Really, this inserter should be fine on its own. Not 238 should be efficient for getting everything else through. Really, I just want the 234 to end up here. In a tiny box on its own, I guess. And then we'll just store the 238 because, man, we have so much of it. It's such a pain. Cool. So that's there at least. That's good. This will run again. The cube successfully made stuff and it's now noping out. How's our stuff doing? We're fine. We didn't make a lot for a while. We have some uranium fuel cells left, so I'm going to assume we're good for the time being. Let us go egress back over to here. Hopefully the calcium thing is fixed as well. I'm going to walk back over and we're going to find out together, you and I. And then I want to work on the train. We need one more wagon for the 4 we were doing. I'm a big fan of odd numbers. I don't know why I've always been kind of particular about them. So usually when I do designs, I'll try to keep the number odd, unless it's like deliberately meant to be symmetrical, and then, you know, we take a hit because symmetry is kind of tough with odd things sometimes. Not impossible, but a lot easier to be symmetrical in a design like this with an even number. Okay, so we have our locomotive and our 4 cargo wagons. I'm going to just trash those. Hopefully a bot will come get them. I assume I'm not in range, actually. No, I'm totally in range. Cool. So let us go and start our loader over here. We'll put down our locomotive, which exists, and I know where it is. There we go. Not bad. Now, what, 4 of those to load. Obviously, if we can get loaders automated, we can upgrade a lot of these, but for now, we don't really have the luxury. What the heck was going on over here? Was this my old setup for this? I have no idea what this is. I don't remember this at all. This said I am going to steal it for our loader design because it's kind of exactly what I want. Sweet. So we'll load like this and then we'll copy it over to here as well. Then it's easy. Just one loads here. One loads over here. Third one goes up here, and then the final one goes all the way up. I'm upset about that RoboPort being there a little bit, but it's fine. I don't really want to move it all, to be honest. I'm going to trash some of my substations so that hopefully that they can start taking them up there. So I would like to get this mine online as soon as possible. I also identify that we have not successfully loaded or created enough drills to satisfy our demands currently. So I'm going to just set up this for simplicity. Is the calcium loader working? Ooh, it looks scrungly. It might not be. Let me see. It looks like it's working. Fingers crossed. There's no calcium around. It appears that we've backed up on metal, which is a grand surprise, to be honest. But honestly, it's what a blessing. We basically never have like a full belt of these on both sides. I mean, I guess we've never had it before with this setup. We're getting a lot more uniform in our designs as we go on. Except for the mall. The mall's always going to be a huge mess, unfortunately. Are you reading conditions right, is my question. You haven't come down here in a little bit, but it might just be like it's been too long thing. And it's gotta just like take some time to come back around. Where is my condition? There it is. Alright, you are looking for the coast circuit, which is, if anything, down here. You come down here, so you are coming down here, which is something. However... what? Why? What the? This logic here doesn't exist. It's simply output priorities to the side with no rhyme or reason. I'm guessing I broke something somewhere, perhaps. Okay, apparently was reading the refined earth metals and was not doing that. So let us output the refined earth metals over to here, because that'll really help the dream. Looks like just this cable here specifically got disconnected. Perhaps it was connected to the other splitter and then that connected over here. That's my expectation. Great, so now it's setting the output side properly. So it probably swung down here before and then just didn't come up here to make more metal, because it was like, you know what? My output priority is left and I'm not changing. And I'm like, live your best life. If that's where your output priority is, don't let me stop you. How's our science looking? Kind of falling off, but it's probably just because the metal issue. Let's also craft a few more of the repair thingies, because we're pretty close to being set on those and actually being able to plug in the top part of this. We're gonna have to make logic for that as well, which is kind of just like making logic. Yeah, I'm playing Ultra Cube, obviously. I still don't really understand. I mean, I kind of understand it. I've certainly learned a lot. Logic is still really confusing to me, is probably a better way to put how I feel about it. But I am getting better at it, kind of. But I get scared to say that, because if I say, like, I'm getting better at logic, then I'm gonna look dumb when I do really bad with it, or even worse, it'll just get harder. I mean, actually looking dumb might be worse. I don't know. I don't really care about looking dumb, kind of. If it's funny dumb, it's fine, I guess. We'll live with him. Let's not waste our substations, because they're clearly in short supply right now for whatever reason. Why are our substations so gunked? Is it just because of a high demand of a specific thing, or what's going on? Did I break something is I guess my question. It's those red circuits that are going into that box over there. I'm going to set a rule where the red circuit thing will not activate unless there's a bunch of red circuits available. Just so we can have it so that we're making substations. We'll set it to 30 like we did in the other spot. It will get harder, but you're keeping up doing a great job. Oh, thank you. That's so kind of you. I feel like I'm doing an awful job, to be honest. Like, it's really hard to tell when I'm like, if I'm doing something right. It often feels like I'm not, but I'm glad to hear that you think I'm doing well. It does mean a lot. So it's gonna go through here, come down here, offload over to here. Looks like we can fit all 4 of them back there just fine, so we'll set it up right here. How about that? This will be... deconstruct a few of these that are empty. Cool, it's already starting to load very nice. We don't have any fuel in it, granted, but that should be just fine once I actually get the train going. We will call this... I actually don't have a name for the other pickup, so rare metal ore pickup. We'll call this pickup 2 because the other one just isn't named. Use the rare metal ore. Is it not called that? Rare earth metals. Okay, my bad. Rare earth metals pickup 2. Cool, and then we'll have our drop off here, which is going to be rare earth metals drop off 2. And I think I'm going to use this icon for it specifically because this is the smelting part specifically. So it'd be good to be able to see that at just like a glance effectively. The train comes down here. Something I'd like to do is bring the fuel, because the fuel is like right here. It's actually super easy to feed upwards into the train. So I'm going to go ahead and set up a splitter over here. We're going to hopefully bring that fuel up without too much headache. Fingers crossed. I think we'll be just fine. It almost lines up perfectly, but not quite. I'm going to try and keep it flush with here for the sake of space, because every little spot we waste is not great. Ah, it's a shame. So close. I mean, I could technically move it over one. You know what? Let's do it. Keeps that belt looking nice and concise. It does kind of pull it a little further than I'd like to offload, but that's neither here nor there. It'll be fine. I'll get over it. And now I'm going to make a request for that train up here. I'm so glad I was taught this. It's so useful to get some vehicle fuel in all 3 slots. So that way it'll be able to start its journey from up there. I probably should have started it from down here, but it's no big deal. I guess the nice side of this is we're slowly fueling it up in our meantime. Probably should have made it so that the 3rd train cart could be filled up at all. Maybe a smart decision, but who can really say, you know? I'm just, you know, just showing up for work, doing my 9 to 5 every day at the factory with the cube thing. They don't tell me what the cube does. I don't ask what the cube does. I just show up. The cube gets stuck somewhere. I pick it up. It's kind of heavy. I put it somewhere else, and then we move on. This is a rare situation to be in that we didn't really see before. Perhaps a reason why we don't want to unload them too quickly. Maybe that's why I had it like that initially. Because we bumped into the issue where if we unloaded too quickly, then these would never unload. That makes sense logically to me. So perhaps we'll scale down our offloaders a little bit too. On the other hand, it still takes a while to offload them. I guess I can go for another research of the inserters. Faster belts will fix it a little bit too. Honestly, moving these back and doing another splitter could also kind of go crazy town. Maybe it won't be that impactful, but it feels useful. Especially when they're just the only few left. I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking it, but I like the design, so I'm gonna go for it. Sweet. We have so much ore now, it's actually insane. I should set this up with more logic than just is there ore available, probably, because I don't think we store that much of it right now. I'm thinking it's fine for the moment, though. Looks like they can offload a little bit more efficiently than before. Like a lot, actually. I think that made a really significant difference. I'm surprised this one splitter made such a big difference, but it seems awesome. Cool. So this will go through the loop again. Hopefully that'll burn enough where now the machine... Oh yeah, there's like way too little. It's going to do one more cycle through and then it'll be good to go. And we'll have a bunch of metal to work with for a while. So I like the new design. It's really cool. Let us go back and finish up fixing up this offloading though. Nuclear fuel reprocessing completed. We cannot do another bulk capacitor inserter bonus, bulk inserter capacity bonus. My goodness, that's a tough one. I kind of want can-do attitude. I'll be honest with you, the concept of it makes me very happy. So we're gonna go for it, even though it might be kind of a waste. But you know what? Is it really a waste? It's a can-do attitude. I'm sure we can find plenty of uses for a can-do attitude. So the issue with this offloader, and I was going to copy this one, I think I'm going to change my mind, is it's using all red belts and stuff. We have plenty of offloaders that I made past that point, which are not using red belts. So this will be just fine. Boop, and we'll again copy it over once for a second. Boop over there, so that it'll now unload into 2 of them. Apparently I forgot to grab the splitters from that, but that's fine. But now we'll offload 4 carts of train, 4 train of carts, and then each one will load into its own spot down here. I wish this was a little bit more symmetrical, but we'll have to suck it up on this one, I think. It's a tough sell making this one look a lot better. It looks so good on this side, like it's almost perfect, but it gets a little tougher down here. Oh wait, I'm doing the wrong belt anyways, I'm being a dum-dum. Not that it makes too much of a difference, it's still going to be like functionally identical. There we go. Cool, so those are going to now feed down there. So now this is technically functional. We do need a few more things to actually connect it, but we're looking pretty gravy on our design so far, which is quite nice. That is a profound waste of a substation. When they're in short supply, actually, like, what was that substation for? It's probably for something else that was over there, actually, thinking about it. So that's a very big waste. So don't do literally anything. So cool. This works now. We have our 4 offloaders. They go into their own respective machines. We do need to set up some, what are they called? Train signals. Rail signal, even better. Specifically, oncoming here needs some, because if not, they're absolutely going to bonk each other at inopportune times, which we'd rather avoid. So we'll set up a few. This should be the only like necessary parts. I'll put one more in here, just so that they won't completely hesitate if one gets on the rail. Let's make some rail signals, and then we will Throw them in a box. What are we missing? It's a bunch of drills. Okay, that's fine. Let me go grab some of this stuff. We'll make some more rail signals, which I don't think I've automated, which I always regret doing, and then I do it eventually, and I'm like, wow, I should have done that sooner, but we're not doing it right now, which is really a testament to, like, there's, like, a term for that, right? Like, the logic of, like, touching a hot stove and being like, man, that's really hot. I don't want to burn my hand again. And yet, I do it again. So what does that say about me? I don't know. I'm not a psychologist, nor do I pretend to be one. I think it really just says that I'm maybe adventurous a little bit, willing to think outside the box, touch the stove an extra time. Sorry, that's really dumb. Oh, hello, train. Oh, I thought that was the other train. I was really concerned that I saw a train come through. I was like, why are you here already? And then it went past, and I was like, oh, my brain just shut down. Everything is just fine, though. Cool, so let us go ahead and get rid of these rare earth metals. Actually, I'm going to go just shove them in machines, I think, or in boxes if I can. There we go. You're a scientist? That's the kindest way anyone's ever said you're dumb to me. I appreciate that. Wait, I put the wrong stuff in here. Uh-oh. Looks like none of it came out, thankfully. I forgot that these are different materials. These need to go in the crushy rushies and not the other things. Please crush. Thank you for crushing. Confirming your hypothesis. My hypothesis is the stove is hot. My experiment is touching the stove. It's a tough sell. It's a real tough sell. When you live with like a scientist too, it's even more tough when you're a little bit dumb. Touching the stove, but just a little actual slang for gauging and spicy experimental bullshit. Interesting. I had no idea that was a thing. Maybe I'm ahead of my time. Maybe I'm too smart for my own good. Let's set up some logic for this before I start talking even more. Pick up, and then we'll do a drop off. Pick up, we'll do a full cargo, or we'll do a couple things, or inactivity, or time passed. So, or we'll do 360 seconds passed. We'll do the same thing over here, basically. Empty cargo, inactivity, or time passed. And that'll be just fine for us. We'll set that up for 360. Or... Cool, that looks good. So now it's like, oh, my cargo inventory sure is full right now. That's awesome. Honk honk to you as well, my lovely train. It's going to drive off into the sunset. Start its long journey. Did any more drills fill out yet? No. Are we done making drills? I mean, I knew they were going to be slow after the first few, but still. Train goes here. Looks like the rail signals are working just fine. Maybe not. Oh, we need another rail signal. Whoops. I was like, that one probably shouldn't be red, but it does make sense if the rest of the entire track is not connected. Offloading here. These load up. Oh my gosh, I forgot the explosives. That's fine. It does seem like a problem in practice, and it kind of is in theory. Because I don't have a way to load the explosives into this one. I see a way to load it into it now, but I should have planned ahead about that. I forgot about the explosives. That's fine. We'll set up the explosives now. Are you making resplendent drills? Didn't realize it was expensive. I am. I hope that's not like over the top for these, but I figured it would be nice because they're a little faster, I guess. Might be overkill though, I don't know. Well, that's kind of a blunder. I think I actually set up chemical plants. I honestly don't know anymore. I'm always in the air about it. I assume I didn't, but then I think last time I maybe did. And I was shocked about it. It was a whole thing. But I think I have chemical plants. I do have chemical plants. Let us look at making explosives. Holy guacamole, those take a metric butt ton of things. I thought they'd be a little simpler. Granted, 2 of them are fluids, but I think I'm going to go ahead and... Oh, no, what do I do? I think I want to make them down here and bring the explosives up, but that's so far away. Could theoretically use a train to deliver them, but it's kind of a pain to do that. Actually, wait, using a train is exactly what I'm going to do, thinking about it critically. I need to change the rails a little bit, though. This train stop isn't used for anything. This is just going to deliver explosives. I guess. Why was there a uranium pickup over here? I can't figure it out. La Mulana is also stove-centric, stove-touching-centric gameplay. You might enjoy that one. So the only reason I'm aware of what La Mulana is at all, interestingly enough, is because on occasion, a few of my old friends will do an archipelago randomizer as like a group. And the last time I did one, someone was playing La Mulana. I don't really know too much about it conceptually, other than the fact that they were playing it, but I've heard of it because of that. Okay, so I want to cut all this and then replace it all so that you'll get rid of the uranium. I put it into a bad spot. I identify that. Then cut this, and then we're going to replace this. Cool, looks good. Let's have that turn over there. We're just gonna have one train that loads explosives. It's gonna be so much simpler than anything else. La Mulana rando is one of the strongest out there. Absurd variation logic. It's so interesting. I really love randomizers. I should do another Factorio one at some point, but I really want to do a wackier one than last time. Last one was fine, don't get me wrong. But I saw that there were like some really wacky ones, like you can change, there's so much uranium ore in those, what a waste. You can change like where a drill might output to specifically and things like that. Are there any trains with this stop? There is. Okay, your stop was just because you were clearing this out, I think. I think that's what it was. I think you have a second stop maybe, or they have the same name. Let me check your stuff. Is this also called uranium pickup? I knew it. Could feel it in my bones. Cool. I was just using this to unload stuff that was here before, but now it's not going to be a problem anymore, so we're going to rename this one to Boom Train. There's so much uranium ore in here. Didn't I just put down like a boatload of boxes for that? I guess it was a lot of ore. Uh-oh. I think the bots are revolting. They're just making circles of uranium everywhere, and it's kind of stressing me out. I didn't think there'd be that much uranium. If I had requesters, I mean, when we get requesters, we can move it pretty easily. I really didn't think it'd be that bad. Oh, I guess the boxes are half-size boxes, so it makes sense. Like Zelda randos, but La Mulana's clear winner there. I'll have to check it out sometime. What randos have I done, really? I used to do Wind Waker a lot. I really like doing Wind Waker because some of the logic can be pretty fun there and puzzling out what to do. Then Factorio ones. I'll sometimes do rhythm game randomizers, but those are like a lot less rando and more like you just get to play songs in a random order, which is whatever. But they're still fun from time to time. It gives me an excuse to play a rhythm game that I usually don't take. Oh my gosh, we're like behind on calcium. That's terrifying. How is that possible? I guess we're not behind per se, but we haven't destroyed any in a while, which is just rare for us. Seems like we need to set up a better way to process all this ore, perhaps, or store more of it, either one. I think processing is probably more the plan. Alright, so that's working just fine and loading the top side, so we can probably turn on the top side soon too. Alright, we need the explosives, I forgot. Great, never mind. Let me fix what I was gonna do. I got a little distracted there. My brain shut down a tiny bit, but we're back now. We're totally aware of what's going on around us. Can do attitude research. Could there be a better time for that to research? Probably, but that was certainly up there. It looks like we can do one more mining productivity. It's a very expensive one, but I'm going to take it just because it's going to make those mines last a little longer, which I think is going to be very important for our success currently. So let's set it up. I'm going to set up another line here that circumvents our other line. Still connects into it a little bit later on. And then I'll probably have this go out here and be a train stop. Seems like it's easiest to do it like that. Few rail signals should be easy enough to make it look okay enough. Could certainly be a little bit smoother. I'm putting them on the wrong side of the road, I think. Nope, that should be fine. Cool. I don't know why I thought it was wrong. So we have those going up here now. This is going to be a very small train stop, but a train stop all the more, so we'll have to take into account the space for it. It's going to be just that one train plus one cargo. So this spot here looks fine. And then as soon as this ends, I want to bring it back in, and we're going to coalesce the lanes into a single lane and then have that go up here. That should be good to go. Whoops, why are you so crooked? That's better. I think we have plenty of rails, but I like to deconstruct the extra ones. It's a little bit awkward loading like this, but it should be fine. This should help, like, really get it to the point to unload the explosives, because this is going to be our boom train drop-off. I'm going to call this one Train Boom. I don't know why I've suddenly changed my naming convention for these things. I wish you could see the layout where the locomotive will be at the start. I should probably get this set up so that excess explosives from over here be down. It appears we're behind on explosives right now because we're out of sulfur because... You're stuck up there, or are you actually running? No, you're running. I see you on, so you're fine. Why have we run out of sulfur? Looks like we have an abundance of sulfur. These dedicated machines are maxed out on Steam. Have you ever run? Oh no. How does this always happen? Half of these, or 3 of these, have run 4,000 each. The rest of these have done effectively nothing. What went wrong? Ah, I see. A copy-paste catastrophe, we'll call it. That's one of their outputs done, and then the Steam is also gunked because of one messed up pipe. How tragic. A copy-paste catastrophe. Hopefully this fixes it, though, and will allow all these to run. What a blunder. I'm gonna just watch it when this plugs in to make sure that it's actually working. It should be only a few more seconds. I have made no progress on Cube today. There we go. Now all these are running, which is quite nice. Granted, it's going to mean we use even more refined tar, but we clearly need the sulfur. And I'm about to request a few more of those explosives too, so I may as well take some time to make it so we can make those explosives, because I am going to steal some of them at the end of the line here. Actually, I'm going to steal them even sooner in the line for the sake of getting it closer over here. There's no reason to waste belts on it. I'll have to filter it still, but this is going to be where we take it. I'm going to just bring it across here for the sake of simplicity. That way we don't have to like get a bunch more cables and stuff. Normally I would just be like, or not cables, pipes, excuse me. Normally I'd be like, we'll just make it again, but like that's a lot of pipes and stuff, and I'm already kind of doing some pipe foo I'd rather not be doing. If I can avoid it, I'm going to try to avoid it, I think. Great, so now it's simple enough to just bring it across over here. I think that's the wrong direction. It is the correct direction, and I was incorrect. Plug it in down here. And then turn all this around, and this will be where we load our explosives. It'll be quite nice. Apparently 100,000 basic motor units. I like these milestone things, it's cool. I've noticed there is some bots hanging around here apparently. Probably should rectify that, thinking about it. I can't believe we have so much of this stuff sitting around. Do we have no more boxes being made? Surely we must. We definitely do. This is rough. The fact that these boxes are like half the size of normal boxes, I assume it's to encourage you to not just like stuff everything in these boxes and forget about them. But it's really manifested as a problem. hopefully that's enough for the bots now. A train cannot find its destination. That makes sense because, well, all my bots were just tied up holding uranium, and now magically everything has been mostly fixed. Not entirely fixed, mind you, but mostly fixed. Cool, so they have enough now. Hopefully we're good. I don't see any bots floating. Everyone seems happy. There's a few more extra boxes. Let's go fix that so that train can function. Looks like we just got an influx of metal as well, and there's a good chunk of it because it's backed up even here, which means it's backed up in that box fully. Whew. So let's come up here and get our other train stop going now that we can kind of see where it's going to be. Oh wait, the train stop's not here. I guess we need to make a train stop first. Whoops, I didn't really want a box, but that's fine. We'll take a box anyways. I think the game might be a touch loud compared to you. I appreciate it. I'll turn it down a little bit. It's always hard to tell the balance for it for me. I do appreciate it. Alright, cool. So let's set this up like this. I also mess with the audio sometimes, which is a real problem. Because like if I'm playing casually or whatever, sometimes I'll just listen to music. Obviously, I'm not listening to music here because it would probably get the stream shut down. I remember one time I had some like radio thing on. It wasn't like a proper radio, but just like claiming to be copyright-free music thing. And YouTube just straight up shut down my stream midstream. And I was like really shocked by it, to be honest. I did not think that they would straight up shut me down, but YouTube is very touchy with that. So it goes. All right, so we can go across here. Nice. I think we'll cut these out like we did on the other side. I'm really hoping we can load explosives down here. I think we can. But my audio gets all jumbled because sometimes I'll mess with it. So I do appreciate you letting me know. So now I can do it just fine. I'm going to use an underground for aesthetic, which is kind of a power move, and I identify that. But sometimes I'm proud enough to make a power move. It just needs to be done on occasion. Cool, that looks good there, and then we'll do this here as well. And now we can load explosives in them. It's not as eloquent as it was before, admittedly, but it's fine, right? We will bring this down. I'm going to try and load them as low as I can. Hopefully the bots will take that. Just have them go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoops. That was kind of a blunder. That's okay. Boom. And now that goes down there. That goes down there. That goes down there. See, look, it looks almost intended, right? I'm coping a little bit, I know. I forgot about the explosives and it's really come back to bite me. It's super un-Fortnite, but that's okay. I don't want to get too close to that build. I don't think we're going to encroach on it, but we're going to bring it down here just in case. Cool. So then we'll just use a few splitters here. I'm not too distressed about this. Gosh, my placement could use some work. I must be tired. Alright, cool. So that's going to distribute them. We have explosives now. We need to go on the explosive train, which doesn't exist yet. And we're also going to need to get a rail. I forgot about this part. That goes up and connects to the other system, and then connect the other system back down here. I did consider that that was something I was going to have to do, which is unfortunate. That was a real blunder of inputs. My goodness, I hope I'm not going to get cold or something. I keep coughing. Alright, so let's bring this up here, and then have it go through there. Is it a straight one? It's not, but it's close enough. It is going to bisect our line, so it's looking for an elevated rail, which is a good point, actually. I hadn't considered using elevated rails. I forgot we got them. How bad are they to make? Kind of extremely easy, kind of vanilla Factorio in a way. Actually, I don't know if that's vanilla or not, but it's very easy to do, which is nice. But for now, I'm going to use an underground here instead of the raised one. Because I don't have any made right now, and I want to get this set up sooner than later. Why are you trying to go upward here out of curiosity? Did you already like ramp it? You did ramp it. Don't do that. I didn't even notice that the supports were there. I mean, it's fine. Honestly, it like doesn't look bad, but we're just gonna keep it simple for now. So this will be the onloading here. And then we need a separate one which lets the explosive train come back. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy this, set up here. We're just going to rotate it, and don't even need to flip it, but I did it anyways. Set that up there, and then you just have that load back down onto here. This is kind of a one-way trip for the explosive train specifically, so it's not like the most ideal setup ever. You can't flip a blueprint with a rail signal, Sally. I know. Sorry, that's a real blunder on my part. Cool. Tiny distressing wiggle in the rails. I know, but I don't know what to do about it. I could move this entire thing over. That would be fun. But there is a tiny distressing wiggle in the rails. I think unfortunately it's just part of life now. You either get used to the wiggle in the rails or you get wiggled in the rail yourself. So take your pick. I don't really know what that would mean for you either. So if it sounds unpleasant, I apologize. If it sounds pleasant, why does it sound pleasant? Please describe it to me because I'm very curious. This makes sense logically. This goes out. This also goes out. Perfect. I need a few more rail signals. I was like, I'm going to leave these systems all separate, but now they're going to be connected in really nasty ways. I'm going to have to redo it later on because I'm being so simple right now. Mod that introduces realistic derailment. The old roller coaster tycoon mod. Surprised there's not one of those for Factorio. You've already got rails. That'd be a crazy mod. Awesome. So that should be fine. This rail signal shouldn't meaningfully matter, but having a few of them around is going to make it so that this logic makes a lot more sense for trains. I'm going to have to make a few more rail signals myself, I think. I don't think we have enough to handcraft those in the meantime. Have we gotten any more of these? Oh yeah, these are absolutely filling out now. Wonderful. Very, very wonderful. How's the metal looking? Oh, it lasts like a while now because this is all the way around the factory. This is when it starts to come back to the metal traditionally. So I think in theory our plan is working now. We have another issue. Something we haven't totally faced yet is I'm going to need to figure out the wiring to say when to do this and when to do this. Currently, the wiring is literally only looking for the conditions of do we have ore and do we have metal. I'm going to need to set up a separate one that's also looking to see if we don't have metal and if this is filled up as well. I don't really have a great way to do that currently. I'm thinking maybe loaders right here could go bananas, but I don't think we can fit them in our current setups. Yeah, we'd have to move things. No, actually it'd be perfect. So yeah, we're gonna do loaders there, I think. This being said, we're gonna need 4 loaders, which I think means more spectrolite, so I probably have to go grab some more of that. It does in fact need that. We need 8 of them, because 4 on each side. That way we have something to read to make sure that we're stocked up on ore, because that one takes a lot of ore to run. So to send it up there at all, I'm only gonna want to do it once at most, and I'm also gonna want it to be right that it actually needs to be there. Looks like the cube is going on a train-related journey right now, which is cool, because I haven't kept an eye on it for a little bit. I'm just glad things are working, to be honest with you. This is a heck of a mod for keeping your sanity. We're like almost 40 hours in and I'm on my 4th science, which is probably more of a testament to my personal skill, but I'm having a great time doing it, so it doesn't matter. The important thing's about having fun. So we were doing something and I forgot what it was, which is real unfortunate. Handcrafting rail signals, right. We're getting spectrally, I remember. I rubbed together my brain cells and we output basically what we needed. Maybe a little bit more spectrolite just in case. I'm just going to empty that box. We're starting to run out of spectrolite, sort of. We still have a good chunk left, thankfully. We're making 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. We've got the 8 path loaders we need. Also going to need 2 solemn receptacles. think bots are trying to bring us stuff, so I'm going to stay still for a second. It looks like they're replenishing those basic metal units and sophisticated metal units I had requested. I'm surprised the cube is sitting in the train car down there. Why are you sitting here? You wait on your cargo? I don't think that's going to work out, buddy. I never set up loaders down there, so you're way too slow. Let's change the logic now, where if the cube is equal to 1, and this has more than, we'll say, 2k. Wait, it doesn't have the cube anymore. Okay, it left because of some logic. Either way, I want it to leave much sooner if it has the cube, I think. We're spending way too much time down here. We're like completely out of a few resources in the base, I think. Perfect. That's better. Interrupts are weird. Learning them is very, very strange. I mean, learning circuits is also strange, but surely it'll be a useful skill to have when we go and do our other Factorio playthrough for 2.1 or whatever we're going to do it. Right, let's get our rail signals put away so that hopefully the bots can take those. It looks like they need 4 more of them, which will be nice. We also need to actually make a locomotive as well as a single cargo wagon, which should be easy enough to do. Sweet. About halfway done with our fast loaders, then we'll set up that logic too. And then we'll have it so that it'll swing by when we meet specific conditions. Now, something I want to try to include is that this has a priority. I want it to be that that top one that makes a boatload of metal only kicks on when this is like done effectively. Because right now, we're in a position where we're actually like potentially going negative on calcium. We're not right now at all, but we could. If this machine, because it makes so much of it and consumes so much ore, if this runs too many times in a row, and like this doesn't have the luxury of getting run, it's going to be a problem. So I want to figure out some priority on that bottom set of machines, because as long as that's running, we're using up that refined metal, we're getting calcium, which we need a good chunk of over time. So that's going to be important for our goal. We haven't broke calcium in a while, which scares me, so we'll see how it goes. Right, so making our locomotive, which I'm going to put down here, and then hopefully that'll load. Have we loaded any explosives down there yet? Literally 0, because I forgot to filter it. Use filters, and we will call for explosives. There we go. Mining productivity 5 turned off. Why did mining productivity turn off? Presumably because we're out of this stuff over here, and it's needed for making one of the sciences. Wow, we have like backed up on the purple science. I guess I made that one really goodly. It does appear that blue science, which has been our thorn in our side for a while, which I wanted the speed module but haven't got around to yet, is the issue. It's just running out of this stuff, which is reliant on calcium, I guess? I'm surprised. This one's just so slow. We really need to speed module it or make it over. Maybe we'll just make it over. We'll see. Either way, we're getting some explosives coming down the line, which are feeding into our storage over there. There's going to be a crazy amount of excess explosives here, hopefully. I mean, that's the dream, really. I'm going to disconnect this one or remove this request for crafting. We're going to set up the other one first, and then we'll have it hopefully look pretty good. I should really just connect. I mean, I guess I have connected all the rails now, haven't I? I guess this one's not connected. I really would have made them different if I was planning on connecting them. I guess I wouldn't have made them that different, but I would have made them a bit different. Looks like this is really filling out too. Oh my goodness. This has not been running a good chunk of the things because there's a tree in the way. I was like, well, it's so weird that only like 4 of these are running. Super unfortunate. Looks like that happened in a few places, in fact. So allow me to hopefully rectify those now. Also, I'm missing one there. How did that even happen? Very bizarre. But fixed now. Cool, so we have our locomotive now. We'll put this over here, and then we'll put our explosive. There's so many explosives. I'm gonna actually limit this train. I didn't realize you could limit trains, to be honest, but that is such a crazy amount of explosives. Honestly, you don't have to limit the boxes. They're small enough. So we have fuel coming down here. So we're going to go ahead and double dip on that fuel because may as well bring it over to here as well. And then we have vehicle fuel. Unfortunately, a little bit unfortunate positions for our medium power poles, but we moved them a little bit so they look nicer. Cool. That's going to fill up. I'm going to do logic for this one. We'll just do full cargo. I don't want this to run super often. It's going to be putting a ton of explosives on belts anyways, which is kind of a waste. So this is going to be train boom. I really wish I named it differently because I couldn't figure it out. And then boom train, I believe is the second one. And then empty cargo. That simple. I don't want it to do either of these things. Otherwise, if it has stuff, just sit there. If it's not full on stuff, just sit here. That's fine. You'll fill up eventually. Technically, inactivity might not be a terrible idea for this one. So I'll add 10 seconds of inactivity. This shouldn't be running that often, and bringing this much explosives at once should let it run for a very long time. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But let us see if we're good. Oh, I should have hitched a ride. Wait. What am I going to do? Save the game and then load it really quick? Heck. I definitely should have hitched a ride on a train. Cool. So it looks like it's going through this lower area. Now, we have explosives going through. Now we need to face the music, so to speak. I have been avoiding setting up the circuit because I don't know exactly what I want yet. But we're going to have to figure it out now because it's time. Our power production went up like a tremendous amount. I think we were at like 160 or 150 before. I mean, it makes sense if like most of our thing was turned off. But I feel even less inclined to plug in the other three, and I think I over-designed it, but that's fine because we can always just turn on more when it's necessary. So it's future-proofed enough. There are the explosives coming through here. With splitters, it does seem that one side prioritizes a lot more than the others, but it has some to run. So we're gonna need a couple of rules here. We're gonna need a couple. One of which is going to be a simple iron chest. This is going to be so many excess splitters. Actually, this should help count or reduce the amount of splitters on a belt. Or not splitters, explosives. Goodness. And we're going to have this come over to here. And then we're going to change this like we were planning on doing before and put a solemn receptacle on both these sides here. Cool. And then we'll put that here. In here. So now we can give those power, and then after giving those power, we can start reading their contents. I will need to fix the loaders on the upper side. We can do real quick, like... Oh, that's so close to being where I want it to be. What a pain. There we go. So now everything leads to this one big power pole. I will need to replace those because I didn't have a surface to enter in yet, so I didn't know how to place. Cool. So now we can use the logic here to make a very similar one. But we might need a couple, I think, or at least like a few final ones. So combinator is what we're looking for. I'm gonna make 5 decider combinators. Heck, I'll make 10 because I'm just feeling that crazy today. So we want a combinator here. This combinator is going to be reading in 2 different things, one of which is going to be the amount of rare earth metal of the raw variety, and then this will be the amount of explosives. I'm going to limit this box to just one thing, because I don't want it to fill up. However, I don't want it to come down here unless there's enough explosives. But again, like this is going to force us to have a lot of explosives on the belt to start, which is a little bit unfortunate. Once it starts, it should be fine. Is it doing another trip right now? Oh, it is. Uh-oh. See, this is not great. I actually set up the logic completely backwards, which is incredible that I managed to do that. This is empty cargo inventory that I wanted over here. I was so confident I had it right too. So we'll do empty cargo over here, and then full cargo over here, which explains why I didn't load up on anything. And then we'll add that inactivity of 10 seconds up here as well. Oh my goodness, we should really add in something that prevents it from going on perhaps the longest trip of all time. Maybe not the longest trip of all time, but certainly can save a lot of time by just changing a few small things. Particularly about here. And then just plugging it in. Looks like 2 more. There you go. Wait a minute. We need even more. This is fine. Everything's fine. I'm not panicking. In fact, the fact that you're panicking really says a lot about you, and I'm glad that you care so much about me. But really, we're fine. So don't stress it. Please. Because when you panic, I start panicking, and we all know that I panic very easily. And I am panicked, but it's not your fault. So I'm sorry for implying that it was your fault, because it is in fact my fault this time. But I am panicked, and I'm sorry for implying that I wasn't. Okay, cool. That should fix it. We can no longer... I guess we can rescind being panicked now. We do need a few more rail signals to come down for the logic to start logicking as it needs to. In the meantime, I'll set up a few more of them as well, now that we have intersections that actually are doing things. So, back to my evil plan. Oops, let's plug this in really quickly. It's okay, we all panic and it's fine. You know what? Sometimes, honestly, I think I was put on this planet to panic. Genuinely. Maybe some other stuff too, but it's unlikely. We want this to be greater than 0, and we want this to be... Honestly, let's make this 6K specifically. So we have logic now for it to come down here, but we need more logic. We also need an output too. We'll change this to the explosive recipe, and we'll call it 1. Great, good, right? So I want something else that also checks how these are doing. So we already have that, I guess, technically, sort of, not exactly. We have it being read down there, how full these are, which is cool, but I want to make sure that these are being run before that. The options we have are to look at the buffer down here to see how much there is. Alternatively, what I think I'm going to go for is read this buffer up here. This buffer is really like the ideal one, I guess. I mean, that's not even like the right idea though, is it? It's more important to burn through the ore than anything. We do have the ore in logic already. There's 8.3 thousand of it, which is a pretty significant amount. Let me put CubeCam over there on that left side again. I really don't want that to ever activate if the ore is outputting the signal. What is our current logic down there? Alright, you're also looking for that. What does this output do? Ah, okay, cool. So we actually have the logic already for repeating this section here. I also want to use this logic for this somehow. I don't know how I want to do it yet. Because, like, I'm going to need 2 conditions met. Let's think of it from that point. Let's take a step back. I need the condition met that there's not a lot of ore here and there's not a lot of metal down here. Those are like the 2 specific things. This is already putting out a condition that there's more than 2,000 ore here. I don't know if that's exactly what I want though. I think I want a separate one that reads the same. I want to look at the rare earth metals, the refined ones, and see what their number is, but I don't think that 2,000 output is exactly what I want. I think I want it to be much higher to see when this is going to turn on. I think we need to go ahead and toss our decoder, or decider combinators, not decoder combinators, so that our bots will take them and start placing them. Although I realized I was like 5 feet away, so whoops. Okay, so now this is reading this. 12K is a lot. If this is above 10,000, I never want that to turn on. Is that logical? Sure. 10,000 is kind of a short number though, or like a tight number, because once it activates once, it's going to eat so much of it. How about 6,000? If there is both 6,000 of this and, oops, the ore. Oh, I didn't realize you could say, like you could filter which color it goes through. That's very interesting. And that the ore, or not the ore, the metal is past a certain point, which I don't know if we bring it up here. We have this metal come up here, it looks like. So we can, in fact, read the metal. So it should be able to already. It does. And the metal is below, we'll say, 5K. Is this logic what I want? I don't think so. This is saying that if both of these are met, then that runs. But I don't really want it to run quite yet with that logic, right? Because if it runs, maybe it'd be better to run this a few times. I'm going to make it 2K, I think. So if that is less than 2K, as well as we have less than 5K metal, then those will run. That seems like exactly what I want. So we're going to output that. I think we already have that outputting up there, right? The explosive recipe, we do. I could technically output the same amount and it should be fine. So if this is outputting a 1 as well, which is not gonna right now because it doesn't meet the conditions. But if it does, we have this one outputting it and then another one. We could just have it be that it's equal to 2 specifically because it needs to like meet both conditions. So it should be just fine to do that. Where do we want this exactly is the question. Currently, this will always go to here first. I probably want some logic to make it circumvent here on the off chance we run out of rare metal to do that. I don't know exactly where I want it to be. It could be a splitter literally right here, but I think that the splitter is effectively never going to activate. But I do think it's probably important to set it up ahead of time now. So I'm going to output priority left, and then we're going to plug this in over here, and we're going to have it so that this reads specifically. Oops, this actually should read the final one, I think. Like, I want both of them to meet the condition. I'd always prefer to use this stack of 8 before that stack of 8. But if they need to, it needs to be, like, available. This is like a contingency fund, basically, for us. So let's put this here and then put this here. Going to have it so that the red outputs of these are both coming in here. So now this is in its own system and it sees this outputting. So if I output this here, I can set it so the output priority right, and we'll set it to rare metal smelting with the explosives. And if that is equal to 2 specifically, then it will go over to right. And if it is not equal to 2, it will go left. This rule should, in theory, make it so that it will only go this way and go up to this route up here when truly necessary to do so. I don't know if it'll basically ever happen right now, to be honest. But this is saying, all right, we're going to go here no matter what. Now, that kind of messes with this logic here a little bit, so I want to set up separate logic here as well. Maybe, I don't know. I think another splitter needs to play into account. Because right now this is only checking if it comes up here. I kind of also want it to check on its way out. Well, that's probably not necessary on its way out. It might just be a completely extra check otherwise to have it here. I'm going to set it up anyways, but it's probably not necessary. I'm going to plug it in with the exact same logic as this one. Cool. So it will, if this equals 2, it'll go here, and if not, it'll go there. It'll be a fully repaired one either way, which will be very useful. And then it comes up here, and then it can start the cycle up here. We also need an off cycle here as well. Thankfully, we can get a little bit clever with it at the end of our line here. We can just have it plugged back in here, and then it should cycle on its own naturally. But obviously having this hooked up all together is a good idea. So let us go up here, and this is where it'll enter, I suppose, at the very top. It normally starts down here, actually. Does the logic follow that? It does. Cool. So I'm going to have it so that we have it underground right here. This goes over here, and then the cube will enter in this position over here. Once the cube enters, it goes around the loop, pops out over here, and then will come here. And I'm going to have it just go straight down here. Then the damaged cube will go into this repair system, reuse it, and then go down there. It saves us the recovery bay. It doesn't make that much of a difference, but it's a little bit. So now it should only go down here looking at that logic. There's a little bit more that we need to set up, unfortunately. Which is, we need to make it so that... Oh, why have you gotten stuck over there? Alright, we need to go figure out why that got stuck again. But I need to set up logic down here, where it enters the system, to also look for that other condition. If it meets the condition metal, or 2 of the metal explosive smelty thingy, I also want it to come down here. So I want that to be read somewhere around here. Currently, this combinator, which combinator is it? It's got to be really far away, actually. Thankfully, we surely have a long line of things to express that. That is the ghost combinator. So we want to add it to the rule for the ghost combinator. That is not the ghost combinator. The ghost combinator is this one? Cool. So currently, this is a bunch of OR statements. We're going to add a new OR statement. We're going to add the metal smelting... Oops, I guess it's not called smelting. Great. Rare earth smelting explosive. We're going to make that equal to 2. So that way, if that condition is met in addition, or if any of those are met, it'll come down here. There's still more to add on to this, though. We're not quite out of the woods yet, but we're getting pretty close to it. I want the ability to bring that down here. I remember having some issue when I connected cables here. I don't remember what it was exactly, though. So I think I'm going to set up a new line of cables to bring it downwards. I really wish there was more colors of wire. I know that it's like there's already a bunch of them, but man, I would really appreciate another one. Which is something I never really thought I'd care about ever, so it really goes to show what this mod makes you feel. So I want to input the back of this. We're going to bring it onto its own separate line that we've now set up. Bring that up to here. It does appear that there's red on this line already, though. No, there's not. Okay. Maybe I'm a little colorblind. I thought the orange was red. Great, so we can bring this up here, and then we can plug the output. I guess we can just plug it into there. And then that should now be reading metal when relevant. Hopefully I did it right. It looks fine. But now it has that condition. So if we're out of ore for some reason, which again, I don't think is going to happen. I think currently our metal output is really good. But if it's not good, we can access that big old schmelty thing we set up at the top eventually. It won't put out this until we got enough explosives out there as well. Oh no. I figured out the problem, but the trains have been deadlocked for a while because of it, which is unfortunate. I forgot to set up this intersection so they can see like a gorillion miles away. Which is not super ideal. Because they see themselves and go, uh-oh, this is a real problem. So we might need to make a few more rail signals. I accomplished nothing. I want to like note that again, that I have done not a gosh darn thing this stream. Sure, I've like redone the smelting and crushing and stuff. Granted, I'll give you that one. But I've done nothing. Like basically at all, which is pretty remarkable. But here we are. Making it work anyways. How many explosives do you have on you? Oh, a good chunk of them. Fantastic. Hopefully the trains will start running again now that we've distributed these. Load-bearing rail signals. Oh, suddenly it's like, you know what? I can move, actually. That's a good point. I didn't consider that. But honestly, this is like, I was kind of assuming this too when I was streaming late today. This is a maintenance stream, you know? The important thing was to fix up a lot of things that were broken, which is going to help us a lot in the future. Probably. I am shocked at how much of this actually filled out. Proud of my I guess my miner maker. Give me one moment, please. My voice is like dying today. I don't know why. I really hope I'm not getting sick. That would suck. That would be really unfortunate. I feel like I haven't been sick for a while, but I'm also the kind of person where like when I get sick, I get really sick. So fingers crossed, we'll probably be fine. I'm probably just being a little bit dramatic. Something worth noting is in our current setup, if one of these goes dry, the other one doesn't ever like get the fruits of it. Like this line will dry out and just be like dry, which is not great. So I'll do it for now. It's still not ideal technically, but it'll be fine. That's what I keep telling myself every time. I'm like, it's not ideal, but it'll be fine. Like over and over and over again in this playthrough. I realize I probably said that more times than I should have, but here we are anyways. Cool, so you're now outputting the I signal. The information signal is used for what exactly? What do you do? Ah, it's for the inserter, great. You do the rare earth smelting one, you also do it. Eating with these piercings low-key sucks. Yeah, my sister had gotten a tongue piercing. Had to have been 15 years ago now. It's been a while. And I was like, does it not like bother you to eat with them? My sister has way more piercings than I do. That's for gosh darn sure. Apparently there is a stray bell over here. Everything seems fine. The fact that this isn't running because of ore, I feel like I should be celebrating, but I'm kind of like stressed about it. It's fine. Is the logic here broken? I'm surprised you didn't take this trip again. I think I haven't been down here in 5 ever. I think everything's working fine though. Cube keeps doing this section before smelting, and we really need some smelting right now. Why is that? I guess this one didn't read the right condition before, maybe. It should have though. Why does it keep going up there? I feel like I'm losing track of it. I'm glad it's doing this, but how does it get up here? I feel like there's some logic I'm missing. Like, how did it get here while circumventing this area? It shouldn't have, right? This should have told it to go down there. Does it have some other way to return there that I'm forgetting about that I made? No, I think. I don't know. Maybe the condition wasn't read at the time. I'm really surprised it didn't go down to the metal, though. It feels like it should have. That's okay. Probably. It's probably just a fluke, right? Smile. I really need to just like sit and watch the cube. I guess I can watch the VOD for a little bit and just stare at the cube and see where it goes. I am going to quickly steal the cube and send it to Metal though. And I think after that we're going to wrap up. I know it's a short stream today, but it is already quite late. Tomorrow should be normal, hopefully. Again, I need to make a call to set up an appointment, but I hope that won't take too long. Last time I tried to make the call to set up the appointment, I was on hold for a very, very long time. So let us just hope that that is not going to be the case again. I was like number like 35 in line or something, and I was like, I'm not doing this. All right, cool. Great. So, wait a minute. I see. So some of the logic here is gunked right now. We need to fix one more thing. Is this the one that outputs that? I want that to be up to 10K. There we go. Because it's got 2 boxes of storage. I want it to be at 10,000. We can hold way more metal. Granted, one of these boxes being full is kind of problematic, but it's fine. It'll be fine. They hold 6,000 each, so surely it'll be fine. I'll make it 8,000 because I'm a little nervous now that I've committed to that. I guess we just have a lot of metal now. I'm expecting it to back up more, but we're reading so far down the line that it doesn't really try to back up more. I can change it so that it goes down when this is lower too, I suppose. But for now, I'm gonna save up and call it there. This was a jolly time. Hopefully you had a nice time as well. I will be back tomorrow with more Ultra Cube bright and early next time instead of so late in the day. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Other than making that phone call. But yeah, hopefully you had fun. I had a lovely time. Hopefully you did too. And hopefully we'll see you next time. Bye for now.